ready to go.
Has won the toss and is deferred to the second half.
All right, good evening, football fans, and welcome to Southwood County Stadium here on the beautiful campus of Wisconsin Rapids Lincoln High School for tonight's Valley Football Association matchup between the visiting Hortonville Polar Bears, coming in at 2-2 overall, 1-1 in the VFA, against the home Wisconsin Rapids Lincoln Red Raiders. Still winless, they're 0-4 at 0-2 in conference play. Steve Maves, Paul Jaglinski, Josh Bush, Olivia Zimmerman here tonight for tonight's broadcast. And Paul, you mentioned it before we even came on the air, probably even before we were live, how significant this game is going to be tonight, not just for Wisconsin Rapids, but for Hortonville as well. It's really hard to believe we're already in week 5 of the high school football season, and playoff picture is starting to come into picture here for a lot of these teams.
Yeah, so for both of these squads, it's interesting. They both end conference with teams that on paper they match up a little better with compared to what they started off the year with. For Rapids, you get a win tonight, not counting any chickens, but you play Appleton West and Wausau East at the end of the year. So in theory, you're kind of counting on those 2 wins. A win tonight sets up a monster game against Marshfield because if you're above 500 in conference, you end up looking at a playoff berth. For Hortonville, you've already got the 1 win in hand. You pick up the win over Rapids. Again, same story where you're taking a look at it. These are 2 programs that are used to being in the playoffs, are used to being in the postseason.
Yep.
I expect we're going to get a really highly competitive, very spirited ball game tonight. And again, for me, it's a pleasure to have a week off from wearing the stripes to be able to come up and join you guys in the booth. Hopefully we'll be able to have some entertainment and a good ball game, but lots of excellent ball games across the network tonight and in the area tonight, Steve.
Yeah, absolutely. And going back to Hortonville, a win last week over Appleton West, 55-6. Appleton West, a team struggling this year. Next week they have Wausau East, and then they finish with Everest West and Marshfield to finish off the regular season for the Polar Bears. Again, just trying to get over that hump into the postseason. Rapids lost last week 41-9 against Stevens Point. Next week they host Everest. The 29th they host Marshfield, and then, as Paul just mentioned, at Appleton West and Wausau East to round out the regular season. It's going to be national anthem time here in Wisconsin Rapids. And so we will step aside for that national anthem, come back with the starting lineups and opening kickoff. You're watching high school football right here on Zaleski Sports.
The Sports Den, located on Marshfield's sunny south side since 1975. The Sports Den has the area's best selection of outdoor equipment. Find top brands of snowshoes, cross-country and downhill skis, snowboards, swimming equipment, skateboards, and more. The Sports Den has a full-service bike repair center along with top bike brands, Specialized, Trek, and others. The Sports Den is Central Wisconsin's Fat Bike headquarters. Visit the Sports Den in Marshfield Monday through Saturday and thesportsden.net.
Little Sprouts Learning Garden with 2 convenient central Wisconsin locations. Here's Brooke Sievers to tell us about it.
Little Sprouts has been around for almost 7 years here in Auburndale. In Rudolph, we've been open for about 2.5. We serve here in Auburndale. We have 6 weeks old up until 12-year-olds. And then in Rudolph, we have 1-year-olds up until 12-year-olds. The biggest thing that we do with them is we have play-based learning so that they learn through play with each other. And social skills are a huge part of what we do with them.
Find Little Sprouts Learning Garden on Facebook today.
Save during the summer tire event at Sherrill Tire and Service Centers. Up to $150 back on a select set of 4 Goodyear tires. Buy online or mail-in rebate when you use the Goodyear credit card through June 30th at Sherrill Tire and Service Centers. Find your location at SherrillTire.com.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love home furniture.
Hi, this is Jill from Home Furniture and Design. Since 1970 and 4 generations, our family has been proudly offering quality furniture like Lazy Boy, Serta, and Amish to Central Wisconsin. We also offer free in-home design with our professionally trained designers to help you create a space that is uniquely yours, whether it's just a sofa or the entire home.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love home furniture.
West Grand Avenue, Wisconsin Rapids, and Post Road in Plover.
Welcome back to Wisconsin Rapids. We get you ready for our starting lineups here tonight. It looks like Hortonville will not be introduced, and Wisconsin Rapids will be introduced as a team here tonight, as they have been for the last number of years that we've covered them at least. And they will be led out by senior linebacker Carter Christie. Tonight's broadcast brought to you in part by Sparhawk Trucking. They've become one of the area's leading trucking companies, reliably hauling for over 44 years. Come work for the best and learn more at sparhawktrucking.com. We did see that Wisconsin Rapids won the opening toss, and they will defer to the second half. So the high-powered Hortonville offense will take to the field first, led by junior quarterback Broden Butson for the Hortonville Polar Bears. Very similar uniforms, very similar jerseys to our own Wisconsin Badgers. So it should be a good matchup here tonight between these two. And a team in Wisconsin Rapids that has struggled offensively. We'll see their offense in just a little bit, but a defense that is able to hold teams, but offense, when your offense can't score, puts a lot more pressure on your defense.
Yeah, it's a beautiful night for football. First of all, I just want to compliment the Wisconsin Rapids band and the atmosphere here at Southwood County Stadium. Again, we got a great crowd tonight on hand. Hopefully, we appreciate everybody at home watching and listening as well. But, Steve, I like the concept of win the toss, defer, put that defense on the field, see if you can maybe pin them deep. I would say one of the things for Rapids tonight that would be really a point of emphasis, I would think, which is let's create a turnover. Let's make a short field. Let's see if we can get our offense rolling, build the lead, and build some momentum.
And the opening kickoff is underway. A high-end over-end kick and backing up. It's going to be taken by Hortonville inside their own 5-yard line. Has a crease and spins out of a tackle along the near sideline. And Winston Peters on the opening kickoff return. Had a good starting field position here for the for Broden Butson and the Hortonville Polar Bears. Paul mentioned games on our network tonight. We got a lot of them, 8 or 7 of them now on Zaleski Sports, and a lot of huge conference implication games. DC Everest is in Stevens Point. Chippewa Falls is in Eau Claire taking on the North Huskies. Hortonville and Rapids. West is at Marshfield. Pittsville is at Auburndale. Edgar is at Colby. That's a massive game. And Wittenberg-Burnhamwood is in Amherst.
A lot of games tonight will go a long way towards conference championships tonight. I believe that Jason has deemed this Show Me Friday or Prove It Friday.
Quick pass to the outside, back to Peters. He's going to be wrapped up behind the line, dragged back and pushed back defensively by number 23, Ashton Fisher. And a team that in Hortonville that likes to throw the ball a lot. That's already Broden's 86th pass attempt of the year, just under 500 yards, 3 touchdowns, but 5 interceptions for the junior quarterback.
And a good start for Rapids. Went ahead and so Hortonville showed a little bit of a spread look. Tried to hit that little quick hitter pass screen, that wide receiver screen. Nice open field tackle, setting up really a loss of a yard in a play. 2nd and 11 here for Hortonville's offense.
Going in motion is Gavin Vollner. He's going to hand it up to Levi Strange right up the middle, and Levi is going to pick up a good chunk of yards. And it's going to be 3rd down and much more manageable now for Hortonville here in their opening drive of the football game.
Nothing strange about that play call. Just went ahead and handed it off to the running back up the middle. Wanted to make sure they gained some yards, and a really nice gain as it looks like they picked up about 7 on that. So you're setting up a 3rd and 4. What do you think, Steve? Do you like going back to the air on this, see if you get a little bit of a quick hitter?
Maybe. Well, likely. I don't know. That's why I'm up here not coaching, right?
This is true.
And the low snap hands off to Strange, and it's going to be close. They're going to give him the 1st down. And a big pop there right on the tackle by number 77, Aiden Chavez. It's going to be a 1st down for the Polar Bears.
So after an opening yard loss on a pass, back-to-back handoff up the middle, important 1st down for Hortonville that if nothing else, it's going to shift field position.
And the clock continues to run here, as it should not be. And about 20 seconds came off the clock, but
Please put 10:29 on the clock.
24 seconds off the clock after that 1st down for the Polar Bears. But again, went behind the 6 on their first play, picked up 14 yards or 11 yards on their next 2 plays to pick up that big 1st down. 1st and 10 for the Polar Bears, working south to north, right to left on your screen. Butson back to pass. And looking for his receivers. Got him behind the defense. It's going to be caught behind the defense, and a big first down for Colin Wendt. And a perfect pass by Butson. And it's a big first down for the Polar Bears.
That was a beautiful connection. High school football, it ran a little bit of a wheel route, got behind the defender, and Butson dropped it right in Wendt's hands for a huge first down. And Hortonville, of course, now not only has flipped the field, but has put themselves in the red zone, seeing if they can go ahead and take that opening drive for a score.
Colin Wendt, their number one receiver, 9 receptions, 228 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Another low snap across, and it's going to be caught. A flag comes in, likely holding back there.
That's going to be a hold against number 78, Steve. Looks like that's Noah Drager is what my guess is going to be based on where that flag came in.
It was another pitch and catch on the far side for Hortonville, but it is a hold on the Bears.
So one of the things, hopefully we'll be able to kind of get a mark off here. A high school football rule that's changed this year is the WIAA is trying to eliminate excessive penalties behind in the backfield. So that play is going to be being marked off from the original line of scrimmage. It's not marked off from where the holding penalty was. So normally you'd end up with like a 1st and 23 on that because it's 3-yard backs. Now it's just a 1st and 20. So just kind of a little bit of a rule change. But if you're wondering, hey, why is the ball spotted where it is? That's a point of emphasis for the Federation. And, of course, the WIAA follows the High School Federation.
1st and 20 now here for the Polar Bears. Broden Butson in the shotgun. Split backs behind him. Back to pass again. Looking for his receiver again behind Schold. And it's going to be caught. What a catch by Winston Peters inside the 5-yard line. And what a perfect pass by Broden Butson.
I'll tell you what. Sometimes you just got to tip your cap and go, whoa, that's impressive. What a grab over the shoulder by Peters. Just smooth hands.
And quickly up to the line of scrimmage are the Polar Bears. Going to be 1st and goal at the 2.
Well, I'll tell you what, Steve, that offense is nothing short than impressive.
Butson tries the hard count, hands it up off the right side for Strange. He gets met at the line and pushed back. It's going to be 2nd and goal for Hortonville coming up.
A few weeks ago, I was watching the broadcast where Chris Conley for Onzaleski was talking about the fact in that game that there were 7 first-half holding penalties called, and not one time was the high school team able to overcome that penalty. So where I'm going with that is holding is typically a very tough penalty to overcome. So that first down pass strike is just so huge following that holding penalty.
High formation behind Butson. Tries a hard count again, hands it up off the left side, and a great tackle behind the line by Jelani Payne. And it's going to be 3rd down and goal now. What a great read there by Payne, 3rd down and goal.
Yeah, Payne went ahead and got in the backfield. Great open field tackle to take a look at it. So 3rd and long, 3rd and theoretically long. They've backed up they were at the 1. They're now probably about 2.5. But they've tried to run it up the middle twice. They haven't gotten anywhere. Do you go back to the air on this, Steve? I'm almost thinking that they do. They've had such success on this drive through the air.
Yeah, it could be. And give it to Strange here, or a quick slant on the play, and it is that quick slant, and it's going to be met, and a great defensive play, and a flag comes in. Man, I don't know about that. That was a great defensive play by Gabe Corral. Wow, I don't know.
That's going to go against number 27, Gabe Corral. It's going to be a defensive pass interference, but it's a 15-yard penalty in high school football, but because it's inside of the goal line, it's going to be half the distance, but it's not an automatic first down, just as a heads up.
Interference on the defense. Half the distance to the goal. Still be 3rd down.
So, again, that's a Friday rule versus a Saturday-Sunday rule. So it's one of those deals where normally that's a 15-yard penalty. So people ask, well, you can't go 15 yards. Why would that not be an automatic? Because you're shorter than 15. But, again, when you're inside of it and it's half the distance, high school football, it's only a 15-yard penalty unless the yardage gives you a first down.
Butson in the shotgun again with Strange to his left. And going to hand it off to Levi Strange. Pops the defender and into the end zone for a touchdown for the Polar Bears.
You know, Steve, that's just great individual effort. Rapids was able to get through the line and hit him where he would have been short, but he was able to turn the shoulders and then power his way backing into the end zone for a big opening drive score, making it 6-0 Hortonville with an extra point pending. And it looks like number 14 for Hortonville will be kicking the extra point.
Yeah, Colin Wendt, who had that big catch on first down earlier in this drive.
I wonder if he also drove the bus here. I mean, he's a receiver. He's kicking.
If another flag comes in, the PAT is good. And a quick whistle.
It's the third penalty of the opening drive called by this crew.
Encroachment on the defense. Half the distance to the goal. We'll retry.
So that's an interesting decision there, or dilemma there, because now you're half the distance to the goal. So instead of being from the 3, you're a yard and a half out. Does it mean that you're going to maybe go for 2 because you're so much closer?
Yeah, now Hortonville wants to ask.
You can't, because encroachment, high school football, it kills the play. There is no option. The snap should have never happened because you cannot have it. You cannot have the play. It automatically kills it.
Gotcha.
It's a safety issue from the Federation rules.
And it is going to be a try from half a yard closer, yard and a half closer. 8:04 to go in this first quarter, 6-0 Polar Bears.
It's interesting. It's a yard and a half closer, but it changes your spot a little bit. I'm actually kind of surprised that they accepted it.
Oh, and the PAT is this time no good. It looked like the laces were facing Colin Wendt, and the PAT is no good. 8:04 to go in the opening quarter. It is Hortonville 6, Wisconsin Rapids nothing. We'll be back to Southwood County after this. Zaleski Sports.
After a couple years of a job that doesn't fit, it's time for more money, more opportunity. That is where Mid-State Technical College comes in. Would cooking be a good fit? Try on a career in welding. Perhaps the outdoors suits you better. Or maybe helping people is a better fit. No matter your path, we've got cutting-edge classes with field-trained professionals and better tuition options, making Mid-State the perfect fit.
Six nothing Hortonville. And Wendt will be back to kick it away. A high end over end kick. Going to be taken at the 5-yard line. And breaks a couple of tackles, does Ashton Fisher. He's going to be driven out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. 1st and 10 coming up for the Wisconsin Rapids offense. And Paul, you mentioned it in between, or in our commercial break, that yard and a half sometimes doesn't make a big difference, but it's an extra point off the board for the Polar Bears.
Yeah, it's just a timing play. High school football, it's a routine as any football is, right? So snap, hold, kick. We all take it for granted when we watch our team on Sunday until, your kicker misses, at which point then, as Peyton Manning coined the phrase, we all kind of mumble bad things at the kicker in terms of where it goes. But in that case, that yard and a half, I actually was surprised that they didn't end up going for 2 or that they didn't decline the penalty, because just that timing and a little bit of issue throws it off. So if you're Hortonville, you're obviously happy to be up 6-0. If you're Rapids, you get a little bit of momentum where that extra point doesn't come on. Now your offense comes out on the field. Let's see if they can march down and get a score to get an answer and get themselves with a little positive mojo going.
Yeah, Wisconsin Rapids offense struggling big time this year. Only 3 offensive touchdowns. Haven't scored more than 9 points in a game this year, and that was last week in Stevens Point. So we'll see what the two-headed monster of Trevor Martin and Jonah Rasmussen can do on the carries. Caden Sager pop behind the line, and it's a big loss on the opening play of the game for Wisconsin Rapids offense.
So scoring 9 points in a game is okay if you're only going to give up 8. The problem with it is if you're going to give up more than 8, at some point you're going to have to go ahead and figure out a way to kind of put that in. Rapids obviously has a really interesting concept where they alternate quarterbacks per play.
Yep.
The good news is you bring that play in, you get the consistency. It's something you practice. The bad news is I wonder how the continuity of it will go. I'm excited to see it firsthand, to see just the differencing style of the 2 quarterbacks.
Jonah Rasmussen now in, and a great read. Was it taken away? Wow, what a read defensively by Reggie Clone. And it's going to be third down. He read that snap like a book right over the line and jumped the snap.
Yeah, number 24, Reggie Clone for Hortonville, at a perfect timing. He almost took literally the snap and was like, I'll just take it and go the other way. A phenomenal defensive play. And again, Hortonville right now looks faster. They look like they've 2 plays. They've been back behind the line of scrimmage. So far, Wisconsin Rapids has lost 3 yards of offense and the first 2 plays. They're going to need a pass. They're going to need a big hitter here to switch that field. If not, you're talking about giving the ball right back to them with really solid field position.
6.5 to go in this opening quarter. Third down and a long way to go here for Wisconsin Rapids, and Coach Biolo needs a timeout. We will step aside after this quick break. Back after this, Zaleski Sports.
From humble beginnings in 1904, the Wheatrick family has grown Grassland Dairy Products into one of the largest processors of butter in the nation. Based in Greenwood, Wisconsin, the family and its hundreds of employees continue their pursuit of providing high-quality products that can proudly be served in restaurants and homes across America.
Bauer & Feind has been based in Marshfield since 1955. And if you're in business that long, you're obviously doing many things right. We always focus on selling world-class products, backing it up with world-class customer support.
Working with Bauer & Feind Business Technologies has been a pleasure. We have staff on call that we can call if we ever have issues, and the printer usability has been really easy, user-friendly.
Give us a call, visit our website. We'd be happy to come in, talk to you. Maybe there's a way we can help you save some money and work more efficiently.
Third down and 13 here for Wisconsin Rapids. Welcome back to Southwood County Stadium. Trevor Martin in under center. Took a timeout, and now they try the hard count. In motion was Brock Foley. A long count again, up the middle, nowhere to go. And gained a couple of yards, fourth down coming up.
So it's an interesting play call, Steve. They went to a 3 wide receiver set and tried to spread Hortonville out up the middle. Unfortunately, Hortonville did not drop that safety out, so they were able to stack 8 in the box and just kind of played man on the outside. And Rapids was unable to take advantage. I like the concept of the play call up the middle with the design draw. When you try to spread them out and they don't spread, that's a challenge.
Yeah. Well, and we'll talk about it here in a second after Ashton's punt. And the pressure is right up the middle, and wow, a high punt. Nicely done by Ashton Fisher. Going to be taken at the 37-yard line. He's going to be ripped out. There is Gavin Vollner. But we talked about it. Josh and Olivia and I have talked about it. When you have teams, or a team like Wisconsin Rapids that has quarterbacks interchanging every other play, and combined, they're 1 of 11 on the year throwing, and they haven't completed a pass to their own team since week 1 against River Falls. So I mean and you don't have that threat to deal with if you're defense. Then you can stack the box like Hortonville did.
It does make you wonder eventually, again, are they going to be able to run a reverse? What are they going to do to loosen the field up?
Yep.
So if you can't realistically throw it, or if you haven't had a lot of success, what can you do in formation? And like I said, I really like the spread look there. The 3 wideouts were definitely where they wanted to go. It just, the man coverage was still 8 in the box.
Another low snap, hands off to Strange, and right up the middle again for Hortonville. Jelani Payne in there along with Aiden Chavez, and it's going to be second down.
I'll tell you what, from up in the booth, Chavez is an impressive-looking, number 77 for Rapids is an impressive-looking athlete. Big interior player, looks like he's aggressive on the ball. Just in general, he looks like he fits the part. 6'5", 275 is what he lists him at, and from the booth, he looks all of that.
Vollner splits out, hands off to Strange again, and Carter Christie is there, but can't wrap him up, and Strange falls near the 45-yard line. Another third down here coming up for Hortonville.
So, again, I like the start in this game for Rapids. Obviously, they gave up a couple big passing plays. Again, the wheel route and then the impressive grab on the 1st and 20 play. But Rapids has done a nice job of keeping Hortonville in front of them. the question is can they get the third down stop? That was the problem for them on the first drive.
3rd down and 5, or 3rd down and 6 here for the Bears. Back to pass again, looking for Colin Jung across the middle on the slant, and he drops it through his hands. And Lucas Schold there to break it up. 4th down coming up for Hortonville.
So there's a fortunate break by Rapids. Good timing on the route, going ahead and getting there, knocking that ball loose. Going to get the punt back and see if you can get your offense going. Perhaps if you can't get maybe you can flip the field with a nice special teams return. They're going to need some kind of a big play, whether it be a turnover, a kick return, something that can help get them started and give them a short field.
Appreciate our friends over at Wheelers Chevrolet bringing you those replays as you just saw there. Thank you to Wheelers Chevrolet all around the state of Wisconsin, as another boot there by Colin Wendt, and it's going to be picked up at about the 13-yard line and nowhere to go. Just got to hang on to the ball. Jackson Laskowski on the return.
At the line of scrimmage, Steve, you're going to have a flag. It's going to be a hold. It's going to be a go against Rapids. Hortonville got through the line. They were going to be able to take a look at where that comes, so you're going to have a hold.
Whether you need residential, commercial, or industrial electricianal work, you can rely on Econ Electric, where every job is done safe, done right, on time, every time. That's Econ Electric. Here in Wisconsin Rapids, it's going to be 1st down. Wisconsin Rapids coming up. It's going to be a hold, and see what Coach Biolo decides, if he declines it or accepts it here, as the long wait, and I think they're going to make Hortonville re-kick here.
Holding on the kicking team. 10 yards from the previous spot. Will re-kick. 4th down.
Yeah, so Steve, we talked about a way to try to take a look at it. I talked about a kick return. It looked like Rapids had a good opportunity. They burst through the line, and I thought maybe they're going to be able to block that punt. Unfortunately, or fortunately, whichever way you look at it, Hortonville kind of felt the same way, ended up reaching out, got the hold, and as a result, now we'll force a re-kick and see if perhaps Rapids can get a return off of this.
Give you some score updates here from around the Zaleski Sports Network here in just a minute, as Wendt will be back to punt again. And a spiral of a punt. Laskowski will track it down. What a nice punt. And it's going to roll, take a Hortonville bounce, and it's going to roll all the way back to the 14-yard line. And that is where the the Red Raiders will take over on their next possession. Score from Marshfield. It is Wausau West 14, Marshfield nothing, and West just had a takeaway from Stevens Point, Gerke Field. As that's a big one. DC Everson, Stevens Point, smash up 14-0, and it looks like maybe Evers just scored, and it's getting closer there in Stevens Point. Back under center for Wisconsin Rapids. And Hortonville jumped off sides, free yardage for the Red Raiders.
Elsewhere on the network, Steve, Edgar is up 6-0 over Colby. That is late in the first quarter, 4:45 to go. So that's another a big one that's out there.
Chi High, 7-0 over Eau Claire North. Pittsville and Auburndale, that's one that's got to keep our eye on, of course. Ben Brecht, our buddy, calling that game, as it's scoreless late in the first quarter.
And Amherst with a 7-0 lead over Wittenberg, which is a little surprising.
Up the middle again, that time is Trevor Martin. Still didn't seem like we heard a whistle after that play, but 2nd down coming up for the Red Raiders. 7 games on the network tonight. Appreciate everyone tuning in here on Zaleski Sports. It is Amherst 7-0 over Wittenberg Burnhamwood. 2nd and 3 here for the Red Raiders. We've got 3:30 left in our first quarter. And Rasmussen's going to hand it up the middle, and a big first down for the Red Raiders on the carry. Looks like Cohen Lehman on the carry for Wisconsin Rapids. First down up to the 35.
So one of the things I like with Rapids tonight is, they're really committed to the running game. They're going to go ahead and they're going to pound between the tackles up front. Coach obviously feels they have an advantage on that. And again, we saw that last night with the Vikings and the Eagles, where you get enough volume of running plays and eventually you break quite a few of those games. So if Rapids can hang around and consistently pound the run, maybe you'll see them start to wear Hortonville down in that second half.
1st and 10 for the Red Raiders. Ball at the 35-yard line of Wisconsin Rapids. Back under center, Trevor Martin. A flag comes in. And it's going to be offsides on Hortonville.
Steve, Josh and Olivia were very excited. They were telling me that Taylor Swift is coming out with a new song specifically for the Minnesota Vikings. The refrain of it kind of goes, I don't know about you, I'm feeling 0-2. So another penalty against Hortonville. So you're setting up again, the Raiders in favorable down and distance, 1st and 5 now for the Red Raiders.
Rasmussen back to pass. Hit it, he throws, and it's loose. The ball is still on the ground, going to be picked up there. Back at the 30-yard line by number 70, Gavin Lack. And it's going to be second down coming up.
Number 99, I believe, Aiden Rowe, burst through the line and blew that play up. It also might be number 19, Sam, let's go call that Bellely. Hard to see if that was 19 or 99 that got through the line, but whoever it was, it came off the right side edge, beat his offensive lineman, and was immediately there to blow that play up.
2nd and 15 now. Off the right side and going to go nowhere. Gain of a couple. It's going to be 3rd down coming up with 1:45 to go in the opening quarter.
Steve, down and distance is so important for the Red Raiders. With, their quarterback struggles and their inability to throw the ball, they've got to make sure that 1st and 2nd yard plays are positive. So that fumble and the loss of 10 yards is really, really hurts them.
Third down and long here for the Red Raiders. Hands it up the middle. No, Rasmussen. No, it is. And he's going to keep his feet. It's going to be a 1st down run. On the carry is Cohen Lehman.
Nifty piece of running by Lehman as he shed a couple tackles, and then that last 3-4 yards was just pure on will, where it looked like he might go down and be tripped up, and was able to lower his shoulder and pick up a huge Wisconsin Rapids Red Raider 1st down. So again, if nothing else, Steve, on this, Rapids has shifted the field position, which is important. Hopefully they can keep this drive going and get themselves back even, or put themselves in a position to perhaps get on the scoreboard, even if it's in field goal range.
45 seconds to go, opening quarter here from Southwood County Stadium. Martin hands it up the middle and gobbled up immediately. No gain, no loss on the play with 35 seconds to go. Jonah Rasmussen gets the play call from head coach Tony Biolo. 20 seconds to go, and our head official says they don't need to run another play. And I think Coach Biolo will let this clock run to the end of the 1st quarter. We have played 12 minutes here in Wisconsin Rapids. It is the Hortonville Polar Bears 6 and the Wisconsin Rapids Lincoln Red Raiders nothing. We'll be back after this quick break. You're watching high school football, Zaleski Sports.
Culligan Water delivers. From your first call, to your first sip, to your first soak. Culligan, give us a tap. The only water that comes with a van.
Heartland Custom Homes is your local custom home builder for over 50 years right here in Plover. We are committed to making the process of constructing your dream home as engaging, efficient, and stress-free as possible. Our panelized construction is ideal for our central Wisconsin climate, and our expertise and workmanship give you the confidence to know that your home is in good hands. Stop in or schedule a meeting to talk about your vision and watch as your design takes shape before your eyes. You deserve the home of your dreams. Let Heartland Custom Homes bring yours to life. 2nd and 10. Welcome back. Second quarter about to get underway here in Wisconsin Rapids. Red Raiders trying to move the ball here on their second possession and nowhere to go. My goodness. Gobbled up in the backfield. Trevor Martin loses about 5 yards. And it's going to be 3rd down and long coming up.
Again, for the second time on this drive, number 19, Sam Bali, and I hope I'm saying that correct, just makes an impressive play off the right-hand side, off that right edge, blowing up the offensive play. So now you're setting up at 3rd and 14 as we start real early here in the second quarter with Rapids down 6-0. But you got to feel like you need another positive chunk yardage play so that you, if nothing else, you can punt them deep.
3rd down and long. Nearly got Hortonville to jump off sides. Almost a delay of game here. Just able to get it off, and my goodness. Spacing not there for the Red Raiders. Gains a yard somehow, 1.5 yards. 4th down coming up.
Yeah, so 2 interesting things on that play. So Hortonville almost jumped off sides. Remember, in high school football, it does not require contact. The second you break the neutral zone, it's a flag. So even though he jumped, he did not cross the line of scrimmage. And second of all, again, Steve, we talked about Rapids has had good success running that football up the middle of the field, but that's twice now on 3rd and long that they've tried to run that draw up the middle of the field, and Hortonville's having none of it. At some point, they're going to have to go some kind of reverse or something outside to see if they can pick it up.
Back to punt, 4th and long. And low snap and just able to boot it away, and a nice kick again. Nice punt, and it's dropped, and it is going to be picked up there by Hortonville at the 20-yard line.
Boy, even when he was on the ground, he had not secured it. Number 0 for Hortonville. I believe that's 0.
Yep.
Again, my apologies if I've got bad eyes here, ladies and gentlemen. But Gavin Vollner did a nice job of securing that, because even when he was on his backside, he had not secured that football yet, and then did a great job of getting it between his legs. But a nice coverage by Rapids Lincoln, pins him down at the 20. Now let's see if they can get a stop, get that football back, help their offense out. Because, again, defensively, Steve, they've played an inspired game. They're in this game. They've got to get a play, though, to give their offense a short field. They got to be able to flip that script.
Second down, and there is a jet sweep and a big hit, but a nice gainer there, and that's exactly what you mentioned what Wisconsin Rapids should do. Hortonville just did the jet sweep and picked up a big gainer.
Again, I am not judging as much as I'm just stating that there's other ways to spread the field other than just being able to throw the football. And Hortonville's doing a nice job of expanding that playbook and getting outside of the tackles. A nice tackle made on the play, speaking of which, by number 23 on that play, Steve, Austin Fisher.
Second down coming up. And hands off to Levi Strange off the right side, and it's going to be going to pick up the first down. It looks like Jelani Payne in there on the tackle, and we do have, again, this is one nice thing about YouTube and YouTube chat, and we'll get the name right when he comes back out. But Brett says Sam Belial.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you for that, Sam. Again, I definitely want to make sure I get the names right. My apologies in advance, I did not. But Belial, he's had a couple very impactful plays in this game.
1st and 10 for Hortonville. Ball at the 31-yard line for the Bears. Butson pitches it there to number 4, Levi Hebe, and he's going to be roped down there past the 35, give him the 37-yard line. 6-0 Hortonville. Just we got about 3 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. It was a very impressive opening drive for the Polar Bears, and then they were stalled on their second possession. It's going to be second down coming up, and whistles blow. Another timeout taken by Wisconsin Rapids.
So I do not believe it's a timeout taken. They have a player that was coming over for an equipment function, and the way that the WIAA rule has is that if you can't get it during a reasonable period of time, then he needs to come out and they need to go ahead and put a sub in. So now the question becomes is they must deem it a reasonable period of time, because here comes number 42 back into the ball game.
Carter Christie back in.
Carter Christie, yes.
And I don't believe that they will allow him to stay in the game. We'll see. Yep, I think he's going to – either they're going to have to take a timeout. I think they're –
So you cannot buy him back in the game with the timeout. Even if they took the timeout, he's going to have to come out. If they deem it that it was equipment related. Same deal like if you ever lose your helmet on a play, Steve, irregardless of what happens, you have to take a play off. You cannot buy them back in like you can in basketball and some of the other sports.
All-conference linebacker out for this play. Second down coming up. 8:34 to go. Second quarter, 6-0. Hortonville Polar Bears. Official gets out of the way. And back to pass again. Has a receiver and all tied up and nothing called. As, again, he got the feet tangled up, and a good defensive play that was on the tight end, number 84, Tate Denkins. And it's going to be third down coming up. Score from Marshfield, 21-0 Wausau West.
Not on the network tonight, Steve, but for those fans listening for here in Wisconsin Rapids, Assumption is down 21-0 to Iola. That game is probably most likely going to determine the outcome of the Central Wisconsin Conference. So Iola with an early lead over the Royals.
Third down coming up here for Wisconsin or for Hortonville. That's a good call. Is the back I don't think ever got reset. I think it's going to be backing them up. Third down long coming up. Score from Stevens Point, 14-7 Spash. And it looks like DC Everest attempted a kick, and it's 14-10 now in favor of Stevens Point.
Congratulations to the DC Everest coach. He was just named the Green Bay Packer High School Coach of the Week. Is that correct?
Yep. Tim Strelo from the Evergreens.
If Tim needs someone to go to the Packer game with, Tim, let me know. I can get you my number. Always happy to go root on the Pack with you there. But congratulations, Coach. It's good stuff.
3rd and 9 here for Hortonville. More than likely a pass as they like to throw it. Pressure is on now as Butson is going to try and pick it up. Gets to the sidelines. It's going to be close to first down, and the late flag comes in, couple of them. And it's going to be 15 more for the Polar Bears, and a third flag comes in.
By my unofficial count, I think that is the 11th flag of the ball game, Steve, and we've got a little bit more than 16 minutes into this particular ball game. So I wonder if maybe the flag's on a spring and it keeps popping out, like the old clown trick in terms of.
Yeah, 2 flags came in probably, I think, for the late hit, and then 1 came late along the far sidelines.
So what'll be interesting is that I'm venturing to guess here what you're going to get probably a late hit and maybe an unsportsmanlike conduct on Hortonville. That'll be offsetting. My guess is they'll be after the play, so you're going to have a first down, offsetting penalties. Clock will run if it was inbounds, and it'll be much ado about nothing. That's my guess, but that's why they're down there talking about it, and that's why I'm up here.
It was a good run nonetheless. 3rd and 9, and Broden Bundits, goodness, what's his name? Butson picked up a big first down. We'll get the official word here as Rapids was told to back up. Ashton Fisher getting an explanation. And here's our official.
There's 2 penalties on the play. First, personal foul, unnecessary roughness on the defense, late hit out of bounds. That will be a 15-yard live ball foul. After the play was over, dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct on the defense. That is an additional 15 yards. First down, White.
So a 30-yard penalty, 2 15-yard penalties, add 30 on to that play.
So, Steve, 2 things. In case anybody's wondering, you have a dead ball and a live ball, which is why both penalties are enforced, which is how you get the 30 yards. But for a team like Rapids that is struggling on offense, and for our viewers at home, I don't mean to to say that negatively, but it's been a struggle on offense. Giving up a 30-yard penalty is crushing. It switches field position and puts Hortonville in a spot where that's the case. And, again, I think it's a good timeout here by Rapids to really come and talk about this, figure out what's going on. Hey, guys, we got to get our composure. In addition to getting our composure, we just need to make sure we're able to talk this through.
Mariani Packaging Company is located on the east side of Wisconsin Rapids. It's just 15 minutes from Plover. They're hiring. Full-time day and night shift food manufacturing positions are available at the largest independent dried fruit processor and packer in the United States. Visit Mariani.com to view open positions. That's MARIANI.com. Also, downtown Wisconsin Rapids, they got Zach's Technology is your go-to for residential and commercial computer repair, custom-built desktops, off-site backup, and mobile repair. Look to Zach's Technology in beautiful downtown Wisconsin Rapids. Score update from Auburndale, still scoreless. No really update, I guess. With, goodness, they're halfway through the second quarter, and it's 0-0, Pittsville and Auburndale. As you, might expect, two good teams going at it. Amherst and Wittenberg-Burnwood. It's 7-0 Amherst. Get you Edgar Colby scored here in just a moment. Butson back in shotgun again. 14-0 Edgar. Back to pass. Has a receiver. That's Vollner. Touchdown, Hortonville. Gavin Vollner from 29 yards out. And after the 30 yards of penalties, Hortonville strikes right away, and it's 12-0 Polar Bears.
So once again, just a beautiful seam route down the middle of the field. Was able to get behind. And again, Hortonville's quarterback was able to go ahead and put that right on the money for allowing Hortonville to find the end zone for the second time tonight. 12-0 and extra point pending to go ahead and see if they can make this game 13-0.
Went in for the attempt. Peters the hold. Good snap, good hold, and it is up. It is wide right. So 2 missed PATs today for Colin Went. 8:08 to go in the second quarter. 12-0 Polar Bears. We'll be back after this quick break. Zaleski Sports.
Wondering what to feed your team after work, the game, or this weekend? Chips Hamburgers in Marshfield and Wisconsin Rapids has tasty, char-broiled burgers for any hungry appetite. From the classic hamburger to the famous Chips Champ and everything in between, check out our daily specials. Stop inside to enjoy your meal with comfortable seating. See our complete menu of burgers, hot ham and cheese, hot beef, chicken and fish, fries, rings, curds, and ice cream served year-round. In a hurry? Same great menu in the drive-thru. Chips Hamburgers in Marshfield and Wisconsin Rapids.
The kick by Colin Went, a beauty. And it's going to be taken at about the 4-yard line. Breaks a couple of tackles and still on his feet. It's going to be roped down near the 20-yard line. 21 or 22 is where Wisconsin Rapids will start. Ashton Fisher on the return.
Well, Steve, again, good news, bad news if you're Rapids, okay? So you're down 12-0. That's a tough drive where you were playing pretty well defensively, gave up the penalty yardage and the what have you. But the good news is the 2 missed extra points keeps you right in this. So again, if you can find a way to spread the team out, move the field, and get a chance at it, you're still right in this thing. At some point, though, you got to figure they're going to have to take a shot through the air, down the field, just to try to spread them out. As right now, you can kind of see Hortonville's got 9 guys in the box.
And on the counter that time, flag comes in, and it's going to be first down pending after the flag here.
And where that is, the initial indication looks like it's a face mask.
It's going to be a hold on Lincoln. Marching back 10 yards. Sign up for Fleet Rewards and get great deals sent straight to you. Plus, you'll earn points on every purchase made in-store or online. Sign up now at fleetfarm.com. Get everything you need at one stop. Get it all at Fleet Farm.
Correction. Holt beyond the line of scrimmage. It'll be from the spot of the foul.
So it is going to be 1st and 19 coming up for Wisconsin Rapids.
It makes it just tougher. When,
Yeah.
Again, when you're a team that struggles offensively and you get that holding penalty, it just makes it very hard to overcome. And now backed up deep, you really need a positive play on this to get yourself some field position.
And another flag. And it's going to be offsides on Hortonville.
Going to be lined up in the neutral zone, perhaps. Either way, you're looking at encroachment, neutral zone infraction. So 5 yards back. So instead of a 9-yard penalty, now you're talking about a 4-yard penalty. So that's a positive thing. Hey, Josh, the good news is it's still first down, so we're in good shape here.
1st and 14 coming up here for Wisconsin Rapids. 7:53 to go in the opening half, as it's 12-0 Hortonville. Jonah Rasmussen in at quarterback for the Red Raiders. And a play without a flag, and back goes, and a tackle for loss there by Reggie Clone. And it's going to be a 2nd down coming up.
Rapids has definitely tried to pound the ball between the guards and behind the center tonight. They've worked the middle of the field hard with their running play selection. Like they have not gone outside of the tackles. Really, the only time I can really remember running play outside of the tackles was the 3rd and long right here at midfield, Steve, where they were able to go ahead and pick up 12, 13 yards on the first down. But they must really think they've got an advantage inside, that they just keep trying to pound the ball in the middle of the field.
7:05 to go here in the first half. Trevor Martin's going to keep it himself, trying to get the edge. He does get the edge, and then upended there. A nice tackle on the edge. Looks like maybe number 6. Kane Fletcher maybe on the tackle.
Looks like that's a nice gain of, we'll call it 7 yards on the play, setting up a 3rd and 8 with 6:45 to go here in the second quarter, with Hortonville leading this game 12-0 over Rapids.
John Wenzel checking in. Thank you, John, for watching here tonight. Shout out Grayson Reimer, uncle from Arkansas. 3rd down coming up, 3rd and 8, 6:20 to go in this opening half here in Wisconsin Rapids. Back official already counting. And a delay of game on Wisconsin Rapids, 6:16 to go. Dan Ross has a message for Paul Jaglinski. Says Wausau West is up 21-0. Tell Jags he's losing.
Again, the upset special, I was really impressed with how Marshfield was able to play Everest on a competitive basis last week. I thought maybe they would go ahead and give West a little bit of a stronger game, but we looked at the score, and 4 minutes in that game was 14-0. So now that Marshfield has settled in, we'll see if they can come back. They were down big against Everest at the half.
Back to pass and a pitch and catch there. It's going to be close to a first down. Hey, how about that? The first completed pass. And a big round of applause from the Wisconsin Rapids faithful. The first completed pass in 4 weeks for the Red Raiders.
So it sets up a 4th down and 2. So, Steve, it's an interesting decision here. Obviously, you're really deep in their own territory. Dan Campbell is going for it. The question, does Rapids Lincoln go for it? It looks like they're going to go ahead and punt this away.
Jackson Laskowski, the lone receiver with the receptions this year for Wisconsin Rapids. He's got both of them. And back to punt here on 4th and 2 with 5:20 to go in the opening half. Again, counting is our back official. Gets the punt away. And backing up on it is Vollner. Did he touch it? And he's going to be ripped down there by Carter Christie, and then body slam there by Carter.
Again, beautiful punt coverage. that is going to go ahead and be offset by what the official is going to call unnecessary roughness. Now, the question will become, Steve, will he call that a late hit or will he call it a violent hit that drew the penalty flag? Any way you look at it, it was an outstanding punt, outstanding punt coverage, but, and it's an unfortunate but, the hit drew the flag, and it's going to cost Rapids 15 yards and give Hortonville good field position once again. 19-34. They're going to have the ball right around the 34 or 35-yard line after the 15-yard penalty here.
And it was, again, at this point, maybe at this time of the year, winless. Not really anything going right for Wisconsin Rapids. A lot of frustration going out with some of these guys, and Carter Christie, as good as he has been in his time here at Wisconsin Rapids, letting out some frustration on that play.
Steve, I think that's just a good-spirited play. Let's listen to Scott Bellinger, our official, go ahead and announce.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness on the kicking team. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
No, not half the distance.
No, the other way.
Nope, there you go. Correction coming.
15 yards to the end of the run, first down.
It's one of those deals. There's colors, there's directions. They've thrown 20 penalty flags, so there's a lot of announcing. Again, his voice is a little hoarse. Steve, you got to give him a little bit of a deal there. But again, at the end of the day, just go back to Carter Christie on that. Steve, I don't think that's a frustration play. I think it's a hit that probably occurs after the whistle, but it's good punt coverage.
Yep.
The kid is making a running play. Some may say that's a football play. Obviously, the official didn't feel that way. That's not my job to question it. But it's unfortunate because instead of pinning them deep and having that momentum, now you start again with, I don't want to call it a short field, but 34, 35-yard line is good field position for Hortonville. And with their dynamic offense, now it's danger time as there's 5:08 here left in the second quarter, and Rapids is already down 12.
Yeah, see if Hortonville takes a shot at it, and they don't. And a good tackle there by Carter Christie, taking down Levi Strange, and it's going to be 2nd down and 9 coming up for the Polar Bears.
We're almost at the half in Auburndale, in that Auburndale-Pittsville game. Still 0-0, Steve, so 1:04 left in that second quarter over there if you're following along with that game. Hopefully you've got us on the iPad. You've got that game on the computer. You got a different game on your iPhone. One of those deals where hopefully you're checking out the network tonight, but it looks like there's a good one going on over there.
Edgar up 20-0 on Colby. Edgar they were frustrated with how their season ended last year. A very high favorite to make it down to Madison in November.
If you have not,
they're going to try the quarterback or the halfback pass, and he's going to be roped down there by Carter Christie. On the play is number 48, A.J. Pfeiffer, and it's going to be no first down. 3rd down coming up.
I was just going to say, Steve, if you've not got a chance to see Carter Butt play from Edgar, you should really go check him out. I think he's going to end up playing at the next level somewhere. They're loaded this year.
Yep.
It's one of those deals where, again, you got Regis, you've got Cashton. When you get into that 3rd, 4th level, I definitely feel like Edgar's going to get tested. But until then, they've just rolling. And Colby's a very high-quality team. Impressive first half for the Wildcats tonight.
3rd down coming up, hands it off to Levi Strange, and oh my goodness, did he fall forward just enough? It's sure going to be close. It's going to be 4th down and a half an inch, or give them the first down. Looks like 4th down maybe coming up for the Polar Bears here.
Ooh, so there's kind of an interesting piece. It looked like the far official had it coming in and was giving him the line of game, but the near official says, nope, 4th down, I got it short of the spot. So now you're talking about 4th and 1. We'll see if Hortonville goes with Jalen Hurts, push you from behind, unstoppable first down play.
Butson under center, tries to get Rapids to jump off sides, hands it up, and bounces. Strange, first down and more. He's going to fall past the 45 and a first down for Levi Strange.
Several times tonight, Levi has been hit in the backfield, Steve, and he's been able to break that first tackle, keep his feet, and fall forward. He did it on the opening play touchdown, and again, he does it there on a 4th and 1. Levi Strange, very impressive running back for Hortonville, and what's big about that, Steve, is now you're talking 2:43 to go in the half. not only does it keep the drive alive, but it pretty much means that Rapids is not going to be able to pick up the football here at the end of the first half, barring a turnover, of course.
3 receivers set, 2 far, 1 near. Strange flanks Butson in the backfield. And hands off to Strange again, bounces to the middle. Another flag comes in
It's
near
coming
the
back for
50-yard
holding.
line. Score from Amherst, Wittenberg, Burnwood 7, Amherst 7 with 1:30 to go in the 1:30 to go in the first half there. Pittsville and Auburndale, as Paul mentioned, see if they're in break. 15 seconds to go. Chi High and Eau Claire North. It looks like they might be in halftime. 17-7 Chippewa Falls over the Huskies. Marshfield and Wausau West. Let's see what we got over at Hiding Community Stadium. 33-0 Wausau West. Big one, Stevens Point and DC Everest at Gerke Field. Huge crowd watching online for that game. As expected, Stevens Point 14, DC Everest 10 with 50 seconds to go in that first half.
The redone Gerke Field, Steve, is spectacular. They've really done a nice job of updating that stadium and that playing field. A great facility, just like Southwood County Stadium here. Again, beautiful playing surfaces.
3 receivers set, 1 to the far side. Back to pass, Butson across the middle, wide open. It's going to be hauled in by Colin Wendt. He's going to go to the house. Touchdown, Hortonville. That is 64 yards from Butson to Wendt, and it's 18-0 Polar Bears.
Again, he looked like Justin Jefferson coming down the middle of the field, just hit that seam route in stride. Butson has really done a great job putting the ball on the money tonight. Impressive. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Hortonville's offense has been impressive. I think the Rapids-Lincoln defense has come out and played inspired football tonight, had a few penalties that have hurt them, but it's really been the air attack efficiency from these Polar Bears combined with the legs of Levi Strange that's made the difference in this half.
Well, as you mentioned, even on that first drive, the holding penalty, and this time the illegal hands didn't hurt Hortonville.
It just forced them to throw the football, and they're like, okay, we'll be fine with that. You know, we were content to run the football before, but if you're going to make us throw it, we'll just take a look at it. Interesting, now they're going for 2 to try to go ahead and, I don't want to say chase points, but they've missed 2 extra points, which is why we've got the 18-0 score, trying to go ahead and pick up the 2-point conversion and make it 20-0.
Butson and a perfect play call. Went. It is good. He couldn't make his field goals, but makes a spectacular 2-point conversion catch, and it is 20-0 Polar Bears. We'll take one quick break, come back with our final 1:48 of the half. It's 20-0 Hortonville. Back after this, Zaleski Sports.
You know better when you see it.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
But sometimes it's a little harder to tell what better looks like, and you could use a little help.
Thanks, Mom.
Security Health Plan. Everything you need in a health plan. Everything you'd expect from a good neighbor.
Nothing Hortonville here in the first half. 1:48 to go in the opening half. Colin Wendt, the do-it-all player right now for the Polar Bears, will be back to kick it away for Hortonville. Another high-end, over-end, beautiful kick. Ashton Fisher will take it and back all the way up to the 1-yard line and have nowhere to go. Still on his feet, still moving. He's going to be taken down all the way back at the 10-yard line. It's going to be first down coming up for the Red Raiders.
I'm a little surprised that they allowed that play to go as long as they did. I thought maybe forward progress had been stopped a little bit earlier. And again, I know that kick's fielded at the 1 yard line, so you can't stay it in. But again, I feel like after watching Rapids in this first half, Steve, they're going to need a play. They're going to need a kick return. They're going to need to find some space for a playmaker and see if they can get a quick hitter. I just don't know if this offense is going to be able to sustain a 13, 14, 15, 16-yard or 15-play drive, even though it'd be nice to control the clock.
Hands it up. No back to pass. Hit as he throws it, looking for his receiver, Laskowski, and overshot him. And it's going to be second down coming up. Good arm there by Jonah Rasmussen. And Laskowski just couldn't quite chase it down, and it's going to be second down coming up.
I think the look on Olivia's face says it all, Steve. He had him down the middle. Laskowski had gotten deep on the play, but unfortunately was led a little bit too much and was unable to complete it. So now you're talking about second down and 10 to go, a minute and 33. Lincoln's got to be smart about this, Steve, because as deep as they are with Hortonville, the way that they can take a look at it, you don't want to give them the ball back before the half.
Yeah, and Hortonville's still got 3 timeouts left to use to their advantage, and nowhere to go there on the carry by Cohen Lehman, and Hortonville uses their first timeout with 1:23 to go and a third down coming up.
Miles Silas, number 40, with the tackle, by the way.
Unlock the best home, auto, commercial, and personal loans in the Wisconsin Rapids area at Key Savings Bank. No matter what you're financing, Key Savings Bank has the personal touch to put you at ease. Dream big with small rates at Key Savings Bank. Halftime, we'll see our fifth episode of our security health plan, Hard Knocks, featuring the Edgar Wildcats after they who did they play last week? Rosholt, maybe?
Yeah, 48-0, I think.
Trounced Rosholt.
After about 4 minutes, and then I think Edgar worked in their JV, their freshmen, some seventh graders, some of the flag football team members I think got in at the end. Again, Edgar controlled that game from start to finish.
What about Rosholt last night, scoring their first points of the year on a kickoff return to start the game against Pacelli? Pacelli obviously came back and won that one 36-12, but for a team that hadn't scored all year in their first 4 games to come back and start the game last night against Pacelli with a kickoff return. Rosholt, again, one of those teams that still a lot of building yet to do for the Rosholt football team and the football program in that town.
I think somebody told me 19 kids out for the program this year. That makes it hard. You know, when there's got to be 11 on the field, you have kids playing 2 ways. It just makes it hard. I mean, the numbers in Division 7.
Hand up, and that's going to be close. Cohen Lehman nearing a first down, and coach is going to take a timeout. It's going to be close to a first down. 4th down coming up. Man, 4th and a half a yard. And it's going to be 4th down for Wisconsin Rapids.
But with a minute and 14, Steve, you really can't go for that. If you go for it, you're essentially gifting them points.
And they're going to come and measure it here.
Oh, okay. Maybe you can. Hold on. Maybe maybe we'll find out just how close it's going to be. To your point, it certainly does look like it's going to be kind of a half yard short. You know, again, with a field like this, you've got the hashes. So, you know, providing you start with the nose of the football and the drive, you should be able to kind of tell. So I'm guessing that's going to be about the length of the football short. And it's going to be decision time for Rapids Lincoln.
And we'll take a look at it. They got it lined up. Rapids thinks they got the first down, and oh my goodness, half a chain link. Yep, that's exactly what he measures to the Rapids sideline, that half a chain link. It's going to be 4th down. How long are those, an inch, 2 inches?
About the length of a chain link. So maybe if Ryan Klein was here, you could help me out. He's the math guy. I was told there was no math in announcing tonight, so I can't help you out there.
1:14 to go, 4th down, and a chain link here for Wisconsin Rapids. Hortonville with everybody up on the line.
Will they actually snap the play? Or
and
will
they get Hortonville to jump off sides.
Yep, which is exactly what I was wondering about, Steve. Were they going to go ahead and run the play, or were they going to try to draw them off? And that's a huge. Hortonville's already burned the 2 timeouts. Now, even if you don't score, you don't give them the football back.
Jackson Clearman trying to get a head start, and Clearman, the sophomore, jumped off sides, first down for Wisconsin Rapids with 1:14 to go.
Steve, I'll tell you what, let's get crazy. Let's get a touchdown here out of Rapids. Let's get the Rapids is going to take the ball first because they deferred. Let's get a touchdown again. Let's get ourselves a football game going on here.
Run up the middle and going to be pushed back by Cohen Lehman, and it's going to be second down and about 8 coming up for Wisconsin Rapids, looking like they're just okay to run this first half away.
Again, they've been pounding the middle of the field with the running back, trying to soften that up, trying to look for a hitter, to be able to burst through the hole. Hortonville's done a nice job plugging that so far in the half.
Jackson Laskowski, the only wide receiver set on the far side. 40 seconds to go in this opening half. Back to pass, looking for Laskowski, and nearly intercepted. Is going to be incomplete. Couple of flags come in. And see if it's going to be on Laskowski or on number 6, Kane Fletcher.
So you're going to have 15-yard penalty one way or the other, offense or defense. Let's see which way they take a look at it. Again, not an automatic first down if it's defensive penalty in high school football, but the 15 yards will result in it. And if it's offensive penalty, obviously it just backs Lincoln up a little bit further. And it looks like that's kind of, based on the conversation, that's what it looks like.
And that will likely take us to the end of the half, take a knee for the Red Raiders. And because it was at, the 29, so then it's back 14 and a half yards, right? Or whatever it is.
Again, they told me there was going to be no math, so but I'll use the 14 and a half in terms of where it goes. Anyway, you look at it, if you're Lincoln, Hortonville's only got the 1 timeout. Take a knee. Go talk about it at the half. Come back out, regroup. Let's see if we can make a better run at it, I would think is what they're thinking at this point.
32 seconds to go here in the half. 20-0 Hortonville. Controlled through the air by the Polar Bears. And Trevor Martin's going to keep it and then pitch it to the far side.
Ooh, go.
And a head of steam on the far side. Cuts back, breaks a couple of tackles. Going to be roped down there, and a big gainer along the far side inside Hortonville territory. And it looks like Caden Sager on the carry for the Red Raiders. They quickly get up to the line. And Wisconsin Rapids takes their final timeout with 21 seconds to go.
One of the few times tonight Rapids has gone outside of the tackles versus trying to pound it up the middle of the field, and it appears like there's an opportunity there for him, Steve.
Mutual Owasso Insurance, protecting homes, farms, and businesses since 1875. Visit mutualowasso.com to find an agent near you. Many of our games, most of our games, at the halftime break right now, as we got 21 seconds to go in our first half. Just past 8 o'clock here in Central Wisconsin. Steve Mapes, Paul J. Glinski, Josh Bush, Olivia Zimmerman on this picture-perfect Friday night here in Central Wisconsin. About the last week, I mean, the weather has just been outstanding. Next week's supposed to warm up a little bit, but it could stay. Obviously, it will never be this way, but it could stay between 60 and 75, 365 days a year. It would be perfect.
Start of bow season opens up tomorrow. You've got your goose and your duck hunters. You've got, obviously, high school football. Badgers are playing. Packers are playing. Fall, in my opinion, is the best time of the year, hands down, undefeated. The leaves are turning, so just really pretty. And Steve, I just want to take a second, because we might have a few people checking in on this game. I just want to thank our fans and our sponsors tonight for going and checking out high school football and Zaleski Sports. No matter what game you're on, we really appreciate you going ahead and tuning in the broadcast.
Jonah Rasmussen back to pass. Hit as he throws it up there. He's got a couple of guys behind, and it's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Jonah Rasmussen has taken a beating behind staying in there and getting those throws off, and it's going to be second down coming up.
Still 14 seconds on the clock, so you're talking 2nd and 10, ball on the 47. again, Rapids has put themselves in a spot where they need to take a look at it. Now, Steve, the question becomes and you can tell me, does Rapids have a field goal kicker? Because where they're at on the 47, if you can get yourself to the 30, 25, 20, you can get yourself a chance to crack that goose egg, get yourself on the board. And because of the missed extra points, the 3 might be really big here. So, hopefully Lincoln will take a look at being able to have a shot at it.
Ashton Fisher's pretty good kicker. I looked at these guys. Yeah. He's got a pretty good leg as Hortonville will take their final timeout. Can't take them to the locker room with you, so might as well use them as you can. As again, first half nearing the end here in Wisconsin Rapids. Hortonville has done a lot of their damage. You mentioned Levi Strange, but Broden Butson through the air has been just outstanding. That first drive that they had, a couple of great passes, including that flag route inside the 5-yard line was on the money, and it's going to be interesting to see how Rapids responds to the aerial assault in the second half.
It's interesting. You don't see a lot of.
The clock is running here. Not sure why.
I assume that maybe it was the
timeout
ticking away.
Okay.
So it should be 14 seconds left on the clock, which is kind of the case. Again, ball on the 47. Rapids is down 20-0 in this game, 2nd and 10. Rapids driving after a big outside pitch, putting themselves in the position. Might be the first time tonight Rapids has crossed into Hortonville territory.
Backs pass, halfback pass, looking. Laskowski makes the catch inside the 20-yard line with 8 seconds to go. They'll get into.
Going to have to get up and spike the ball, Steve. Once the chains are set, the clock will start in high school football. Clock is running 6, 5, 4, 3,
and
2.
Back to pass. They don't play it. It's going to be a sack, and that'll end the half. Oh, my goodness. Disaster for Wisconsin Rapids. And a late flag comes in on number 24, Reggie Clone, for excessive celebration or taunting. And that'll end the half.
No, if it's a defensive penalty, I do not think the half cannot end on a defensive penalty, Steve.
Dead ball.
Okay, never mind.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct.
Yeah, that was a bonehead play there by Reggie Clone.
So the 15-yard penalty, because it's the end of the half, will be assessed on the opening half kickoff.
That is the half.
And so a big mistake there by Wisconsin Rapids offensively, not spiking it and then taking the sack and not getting Ashton Fisher an opportunity to kick a field goal. 24 minutes are in the books here from Southwood County Stadium. It is 20-0 Hortonville. We'll be back after our 5th episode of Hard Knocks here on Zaleski Sports.
Yeah, my memories go back a long ways. My oldest brother was on the 1979 state championship team, so I remember going to those games way back, and boy, the tradition started way back then. And Jerry Soons was my coach. He's been around since the late 70s and still there, and a great guy. He teaches more than football, right? I had him as a teacher in school. He teaches life lessons, he teaches, school, and, football is just secondary, right? It's all about life first, and he's a teacher of everything, which is great to have.
Edgar Football Hard Knocks is brought to you by Security Health Plan. Security Health Plan. Promises kept, plain and simple. Visit securityhealth.org to learn more.
Now again, be smart, play smart, become disciplined, do your job, nothing goofy, just have fun tonight, right? You're going to have a nice crowd here. We talked about alumni, we got the goals on, let's represent, okay? Hey, also, we haven't scored on defense this year. Today would be a pretty nice day to score on defense. Okay, here we go. Let's have a day. Here we go. Hey, let's go. Let's go. Call it out. Let's go. Play fast.
Well, good evening and welcome to another high school football Friday night. We are in Edgar for this matchup between the Edgar Wildcats and the Rosholt Hornets, a crossover game from the Merowith Conference and the CWC. And it is on paper a mismatch here tonight. Edgar coming in with a record of 2-1, and they have outscored their opponents 96-14. Meanwhile, Rosholt coming in with a record of 0-3, and they have been outscored 139-0. They have not scored a point in the season so far. Edgar with wins over Pacelli, 50-0 last week, and a 40-6 win over Stratford the previous week. They lost to Ellsworth in the opener in that defensive struggle here at Edgar High School, 8-6. Meanwhile, Rosholt has lost to St. Mary Catholic, 49-0. WIAA Fremont, 50-0, and last week it was Marathon knocking off the Hornets by a score of 40-0.
Hey, us four. Yes, sir. We're everybody. Gum's not anything. Let's go to college. Let's go. All conference game. Let's go. Let's go. See you in the battle. Yeah, see you, bud. It's gonna be a good day. Let's go. Slasher! Harry G!
Tackle. Rosholt head coach is Mike O'Donnell. Of course, Jerry Sims, the head man for the Wildcats. Green approaches the football, and we're underway. High end over end kick going to be taken at about the 15-yard line, out across the 20, and then knocked down at about the 26.
You're going at 50's right shoulder. Go. Right here, cut. Yeah.
That's going to bring up fourth down.
White tape as well.
You actually don't use white tape on that?
It's that security, that final layer.
Yeah, well.
Give me a half bend, flex. Flex.
Hey, we got a guy for Chase?
We got you wrapped in a second. Just lower.
G's halfback ball carrier. Tackle by Green Bonnie.
Offset backfield, strike. They're going to hand it off. And this is Weisenberger trying to get it around the corner. He got dragged down and lost his balance. Got inside. They're going to mark him down at about the 15, so a short pickup of maybe a yard or two. And this time, Strite's going to keep it. Rolls right. He wants to throw. He's got a man wide open. That's Baumgartner. He's going to go. Strite under center for the two-point conversion. It's Carter Butt. And he gets knocked down, but he stayed on his feet. Now he pitches the ball back to Strite, and he's going to go around the left side and in.
Let's go! Out of like KB! Two-point conversion attempt.
Good thinking, KB.
Right.
Let's go. Well, let's get fired up.
I think it was that. Because that was 3. And Jace did pick me.
Yeah, you're fine though.
Okay. I saw someone come and almost hit Tegan. I didn't know if that was
Loss of one of the play brings second and 11.
Yeah, hey, if they run that X, right, and you lock on a guy, stay, okay? But obviously, we got to keep our
Kobe, I
eyes
need
on
to
that
stay
gap.
heavy inside your quick.
Dylan leads pass. Intended for Caleb Zick.
Weisenberger and Butt in the backfield. They're going to pitch it to Weisenberger. Try the left side. Good block. Gets Weisenberger around the corner, and he's going to be knocked down near the 10-yard line. Going to be first down and more. Credit that one on a great block for Harrison Gravine. Straight under center by backfield. They give it to Quick up the middle, and that is going to be into the end zone. Chase Applebeck will get the touchdown. 10-yard touchdown run for Chase Applebeck.
Chase, here we go. Start playing ball.
Let's run, Chase.
With a snap from Layden Schuett in the hole by Tegan Stride. Harrison Gravine puts the point after through.
That's away. It's a line drive. We're going to take a bounce. Butt is going to try to hand it off to Strite. He does. Strite breaks a tackle. He's trying to get the corner. He's got the wall. He's going down the near sideline. One man to beat. He dekes back inside and falls down at the 5-yard line. Lost his balance. Lost his cleat and went down. He was trying to cut back because all he had was the punter to beat. They're going to pitch it to Carter Butt. Now he cuts it back. Big hole. Puts his head down and into the end zone he goes. 5-yard touchdown run. Carter Butt adding to his touchdown total on the season. Trips receivers to the right again. They're going to pitch it. The ball's loose. It's on the ground. It's going to be picked up by the Wildcats. And they will have the football at about the 20-yard line. They pitch it outside, trying to get it around the edge. Can he do it? Yes. One man to beat. He got around the edge and into the end zone for the touchdown is Brock Maurer. And the 5th different player has scored for the Wildcats here. Offensive possessions tonight. They want to throw the football again. He's got time. Looking. Now he's flushed again. And now he's going to be hit as he throws. It's picked off. It's going to be a pick 6 into the end zone. Touchdown.
Yes, sir, Sawyer! Yes, sir! Sawyer! The devoted father right here. Yeah, devoted.
Go!
We're taking the dub. Wait, is this on Hard Knocks?
Good job, guys. Good game. Good game, Coach Sims. Good game. Good game.
Coach Sims.
Yeah, don't forget about that alumni gathering down there.
Some of the good memories back in the day, and is, you know, you start out. I remember there as a freshman, and my older brother was a senior at the time, and you get into the bull ring, and you didn't know what the bull ring was, but you know they throw you in the middle, and you got to try to get out. So there was a grow up really quick and try to figure out, you know, how you're going to deal with. You know, somebody that weighed 80, 90 pounds more than you to try to get out of this ring. It was a little intimidating, but at the same time, that was part of the how do you grow up. It wasn't abusive, but it was, you know what, you got to be tough, and you know, and you understood what toughness meant. How do you cope with, you know, be part of that program? And it was pretty young at that time. This was 1983, so. You know, for me, it was 79, 80 when I got into the program. But you know, as I graduated in '83, it's like you learned a lot over the years, and I just remember seeing the managers at that time. They're just little tykes, and those guys come through the program the same thing. And some of them were the coaches' kids, you know, coming through, and it's like they're learning stuff that as they come up through the program, that they learn more about football than I did coming up, because they were with us all the time. So it's fun to see.
I was an assistant football coach under Jerry Sins for 30 years. So there's a lot of memories involved seeing these guys here. A lot of times what I do is I remember somebody will ask, when does a kid graduate, and stuff like that. And I got to remember the football year that he was. So if they were the 1983 football team, they graduated in '84 and stuff like that. But a lot of great memories. I guess one of my memories was I got to coach my son, and we had a pretty good team back in 2009. Won a state championship. Edgar's got 7 state championships, 6 runners-up. Pretty good for a small school. But in 2009, when I was coaching and my son was playing, that was one of the highlights of my career. And that year, we had the running clock 13 out of 14 games, and we outscored our opponents 650 to 21. So it was a pretty fun year with my son playing and everything. But just talking about football in general in Edgar, it's the thing to do. I mean, kids grow up and they look forward to being, an Edgar Wildcat. So, and with Coach Sins having his 49th year, and hopefully next year he makes it to 50, so we can celebrate his 50th. Kids look forward to playing for him, and as long as he's around, he's got things organized, and we'll keep doing well. One of my fond memories is when I was actually the play caller, and we were in a state semifinal game, and we had like 4th and 3 about the 50-yard line, and I called the play and sent it in, and he said, "What did you call?" And I said, "Well, I called the 36 power off tackle." And he looked at me and said, "Well, it better work." And of course, it really did, because our running back went to the hole, but it wasn't open. He bounced it outside for like 20 yards. So, I mean, stuff like that, and just competitive-wise with the coaches and stuff like that.
It's exciting to be a part of a program that has great tradition, playing for a long time, obviously under a head coach like Coach Sins and the dynasty that he's created. My dad played for him when, he was younger in high school.
Back in the 80s.
Back in the 80s.
Back in the 80s.
I played for Coach Sins. Now I get to coach with Coach Sins. It's really just an honor to be a part of a dynasty like we have here, and excited about the season that we have going right now. The message that we deliver to the kids is we have to prepare each week like it's the biggest game of the season, like it's Stratford week, or like it's the state championship game. You have to approach every preparation with that mentality to avoid those slip-ups that you could potentially have when you face any opponent, regardless of their caliber. So I think our kids did a great job this week buying into that mentality of taking advantage of every rep, every practice, and you saw the result, tonight here against Rosholt. The kids played hard, played well, and we're looking forward to next week.
Yeah, I just want to thank Coach Sins for taking over the program and recruiting kids. He basically built this thing from ground up, because I think after the '76 season, there wasn't a lot of kids out, and they were actually going to think about dropping football in Edgar, which would have really been sad. But I thank him for really making an effort to change the program and hiring other coaches and getting the kids to build in what the heck he was trying to instill in them, making them better men and just all around better kids. As far as memories go, I tell you what, the bus trips to games were I had the most fun with these guys. It was just, I never laughed. So we should have been a little more serious sometimes, but when we were seniors, we had a good time. We had a lot of injuries, but we still had a good time, and we were just a close-knit group, and that's what it's all about sometimes. And for kids out there, the thing I would stress is have goals in life, because that's the most important thing. If you have a goal, try to hit it. Just make a different goal every year, and just try to make yourself better.
One thing about football practice that I remember is, and I don't think they have to do this nowadays, but we had our locker room in the boiler room under the school. And I don't know if that still goes on, but that was pretty bad news back then. Anyway, if you didn't have to be in the boiler room nowadays, you've got a much better situation.
Are you reeling in the years, stowing away the time? Are you gathering up the keys? Have you had enough of mine? Are you reeling in the years, stowing away the time?
Welcome. How may we help you?
New windows, new garage, new car, swimming pool, tuition. We're not talking scholarship here. And a vacation.
Our affordable home equity line of credit may be just what you need.
Medical expenses, braces for our youngest. How about the dog? Roof. How about the roof? And did I mention how long I wanted that vacation to be?
Your money, your life. How may we help you?
Welcome back to Wisconsin Rapids. Second half about to get underway here as Hortonville's got to start 15 yards back after the penalty right before the half. It's going to be picked up there by Cooper Burdick, and he's going to be taken down near the 47-yard line. First half in the books, we mentioned it. A tough end of the first half for Wisconsin Rapids, but Hortonville looked really good through the air in that first half.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, if you're Rapids, you got yourself into the half with some momentum, hit a big pass play, didn't get the clock killed, but that's all right. You got some momentum to build off of. Here you get the ball, you're at the midfield line, short field. You got to come out and punch it in, Steve. We need to score, get Rapids with some positive momentum, build some positive mojo, get your defense back on the field, but it all starts with a good offensive series here to start.
And they're going to gain a couple of yards to start their opening possession. Heartland Custom Homes is Central Wisconsin's premier home builder, now with location in Rome. Bring your next home, cabin, or getaway to life with Heartland Custom Homes. Second down coming up for the Red Raiders. Wisconsin Rapids back in action next week. They host DC Everest. Chris Conley will be here with Josh Bush and Braden Bolus. Braden, our good buddy from DC Everest. I'll be over in Pittsville as Jonah Rasmussen pitches it out to Cohen Lehman. A first down for Cohen inside Hortonville territory to the 37.5-yard line.
Like what Rapids has decided to do there with Cohen, went outside of the tackle, got that pitch, working outside of the box versus pounding in the middle of the field, crosses now into Hortonville territory, picks up a big first down. Now you're in 4-down territory, exactly what this offensive needs, Steve.
11 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Pittsville hosting Colby next week. We'll be over in Pittsville for that.
At last check, Colby was down 21 points to Edgar in what was going to be a big matchup tonight. Pitch out to the outside.
Caden Sager to the outside, runs over a defender, and gets to the 30-yard line. A nice run there for Sager.
Love the way that Sager finishes that run, drops his shoulder, picks up a couple extra yards versus just going ahead and ducking out of bounds. well done, setting up a 2nd and 2 here with 10:31 to go here in the second half. Rapids down 20-0, Steve, but marching to go ahead and set the tone here in the second half. So that 15-yard penalty to end the half, and now a couple big first downs has Rapids in great spot.
Add a couple of seconds back on the clock as Rapids has it 2nd and manageable here at the 30-yard line of the Polar Bears. Tries to get Hortonville to jump off sides, and right back under center go the Red Raiders, and a quick snap, and he got absolutely walloped, but not after a first down for Wisconsin Rapids.
Good news, bad news on that play. Good news is that the quarterback sneak caught the offensive line or the defensive line sleeping. The bad news is the safety is like, hello. But big first down again for Rapids Lincoln, and the ball now at the 27-yard line, 1st and 10, clock running. See if they can get themselves in the end zone. Again, Steve, we talked about the fact they've not scored more than 9 points in a ball game. So this feels like a drive that could potentially jumpstart them for the game and perhaps save their season.
Hands it up. Nope. Met right away. In the backfield, down goes Trevor Martin on the tackle. All right, before I mess up here, I'll remember what our buddy Brett said about this Sam.
I'm not going to take a shot at it because I was the one that screwed it up the first few times. So one way or the other, it's a great play off the right-hand side by the Hortonville defensive end, Sam
Belial
on
the tackle. Again, we appreciate everyone chiming in here in the YouTube chat. It helps us out tremendously. I went down to talk to Coach Reichertz before the game, but Sam was one name that I thought I knew, but I did not.
And again, folks, we do our best to try to get that as there's a handoff. Once again, a handoff up the middle. A nice tackle made by that time by number 99, Aiden
Rowe, I think.
Rowe.
Yep.
Anyway, you look at it, again, Steve, they've had such good success outside of the tackle box if you're Rapids Lincoln, and now twice you've gone tight formation and you've tried to pound the ball up the middle of the field. Like, I'm not questioning play call as much as you're just not using the whole field, and you've had good success outside of the tackle boxes.
3rd down and long, and they're going to pitch it out, and it's fumble. The ball's on the ground, and Hortonville picks it up, and disaster for Wisconsin Rapids here to start the 3rd quarter. One thing that has been a big issue besides not scoring offensively, a lot of turnovers this year for the Red Raiders.
Yeah, rumor has it that they're actually planning to open up a bakery because they're specializing in turnovers right now. It's so unfortunate. They had great field position. They picked up a couple big first downs. You feel like that offense is going. I thought maybe they'd even take a shot to throw a pass, and they went inside run, and then mishandled the pitch, and now Hortonville takes over not only the ball but the momentum, and that's a big thing, is that Lincoln had great momentum. 2 really nice drives with no points and not even a field goal attempt.
Hortonville will take over, ball at the 34-yard line of Hortonville. Butson back to pass, looking for the home run hitter right off the turnover, and the throw is going to fall incomplete. Looking for his receiver, number 32, Jack Tiny.
So it's interesting. It's interesting to see if they're going to call that intentional grounding. He was not outside of the tackles. The ball did get past the line of scrimmage, but is there a receiver in the area? And the 2 officials confer, and Larry Buchberger says, yes, there was. He was downfield in the area, in terms of where that goes. So you've got 2nd down. Steve, one of the questions I wanted to ask you, so we all watched Aaron Rodgers get hurt on the turf. You've seen the big push around the area to go to the turf. Where do you land on that? Do you feel like we're going to start to see more grass? Do you think the turf is a problem? Where do you land on just that whole thing?
Oh, let's see here.
Oh, hold on.
They are going to call intentional grounding. Haven't heard a lot of complaints at the high school level. It's more of the
on the play, intentional grounding on the offense.
It's more so, I think, from the NFL and all those guys. Again, listening to some of the shows, Dan Patrick, Pat McAfee, and all these guys, the injuries that Aaron has had prior played a much bigger part than the surface that he got hurt on. But
David Bakhtiari was very outspoken. He's led a charge. In fact, it's interesting. They play, obviously the Packers play in Atlanta this week, and there's conversation that Bakhtiari may not want to play because of Mercedes-Benz Stadium being a turf field.
Back to pass, Butson, and it's going to be incomplete over the head of Levi Strange, and it's going to be third down coming up here for Hortonville.
There's an interesting play there. So Strange is going down the field. The linebacker bumps him. If it's not for the contact, it's a catch. The ball's in the air. That's an interesting, but it's in that free blocking. Is it behind the line of scrimmage where you can have contact, not contact? I'll be honest with you. I'm surprised that didn't draw a flag. I'm surprised that one didn't.
There's no roof in this place, but I think if the roof, or if that would have been a flag, I don't think these people would have been very, very pleased. Back to pass, Butson, pressure up the middle, and there's a flag. Yep. A little too early on the contact by Gabe Corral, and it's going to be it's going to be pretty close to a first down. Needed 15, and that's a 15-yard penalty on the pass interference.
So now the question will become, they'll march off the 15 yards. They'll see where it comes if they started on the hash or if they didn't. You'll probably end up with a measurement, and then you'll either end up with a 3rd and 1 or what have you. Because, again, it'll still be third down or a first down. But, again, high school football, defensive pass interference, 15 yards, no automatic first down. Only automatic first down in high school football is roughing the snapper, roughing the kicker, roughing the quarterback. Besides that, no other automatics.
Colin Chung, the intended receiver.
As a result of the penalty yardage, just for those at home, in case you're keeping track, it's as a result of the penalty yardage. The yardage gives the first down.
Hortonville will take on Wausau East next week. They will host Wausau East. And then 2 of their last 4 games we will have on the network. They'll be at DC Everest on the 29th and at Marshfield to wrap up the season. I've mentioned it, continue to mention it over and over. It's just amazing that we're already in week 5. I mean, we started. They usually play 3 games before public schools start in the state of Wisconsin, but it's just after this they've only got 4 weeks left of the high school season. Levi Strange off the left side and met by a whole host of Red Raiders.
Well, and honestly, Steve, with you being past the 5-week mark, you talk about the playoff picture. You hate to start to have that conversation. You feel like, well, it's probably too early to have it. But you start doing the math. If Rapids Lincoln happens to get beat tonight and they fall to 0-5, there's just not enough weeks to make yourself playoff eligible. So then you start thinking, well, do you start playing some of the younger kids? Do you turn your attention? Do you take a look at where that goes? You had said that we've got Hortonville a couple times on the network. Are any of those at Hortonville?
They are not.
Okay, no. So Hortonville also has a beautiful AstroTurf and a true stadium, kind of with bleachers bleachers in the stand on one half of it. It's really a unique field, but that's another team that's gone to the turf.
Butson back to pass, looking for a receiver, overthrows and incomplete. A huge hit along the sidelines, and making sure that Levi Hebe is all right, and he's okay. But the defender who hit him is down on the field right about the 50-yard line. Do not see a number as there's a crowd surrounding him. We were in Hortonville a couple weeks ago. Spash was there, Cale Jacoby, the aforementioned Cale Jacoby, down in went over to Hortonville when Spash beat them. It was a 26-10 game, I think, for Spash. Cale is going to bring you some phenomenal highlights tonight. He had a game last night to Rochelle and Pacelli football. He got sent down to Muskego tonight, the number 1 and number 2 teams in the state. Muskego and McGuanago doing battle down there. And you want to talk about some impressive stadiums. Obviously, over in the Fox Valley, there are some beautiful, beautiful stadiums in that southeast part of the state. Muskego and I think Brookfield Pacelli went down to Brookfield Academy a couple weeks ago. We'll have Pacelli down at Kingdom Prep next weekend or 2 weekends from now. A lot of gorgeous stadiums down there as well.
Wisconsin Dells has got the new stadium. Obviously, Amherst, that's 2 years ago that they were voted the best stadium, or was the best stadium experience in the state.
Yeah, something like that.
They were awarded that in terms of where it goes. So, again, you have a lot of really impressive fields and turfs. I just thought it was kind of interesting, again, not being a former football player, to see Bakhtiari come out to see Rogers' injury. Again, as a former Packer fan, I'm not really quite sure how to feel about that. I'm happy that Love is 1-0. I'm happy the Vikings are 0-2. But I'm not sure what exactly we feel about Aaron. So,
pitched it out to Gavin Vollner. Gets the edge, has some blockers, cuts back inside Wisconsin Rapids territory to the 45. That's going to be a first down for Hortonville. I mean, I graduated high school 12 years ago, and the only field, I went to Amherst, graduated from Amherst. The only 2 schools that had turf were DC Everest, which we never played on because we were smaller, and then Gerke. And so, I mean, now it's tough to find, except for some of the smaller schools, tough to find schools that don't have turf. And again, just the change in the state and football and soccer and lacrosse now coming as a sanctioned sport in the WIAA. All the changes.
In northern Wisconsin, Steve, Friday night lights were the case. We used to play a lot of games at 4 o'clock, in that Butternut Park Falls area, because not a lot of those schools even had lighted fields, much less turf. And again, Everest, as we watch this play unfold.
Gavin Vollner spins. He's going to be taken down. Another flag comes in.
Shocker. Lots and lots and lots of laundry on the field tonight. Unofficial count, I think that's 437 flags in this game. 400 were thrown on the offsetting or on the 30-yard penalty earlier from that regards. It's been a game where I think the crew has done a nice job controlling it. It's certainly not targeting officials or anybody, so please don't send the hate chat. I just am pointing out that we've had a lot of penalties in this particular ball game. That's all I mean by that. Again, it's especially for Week 5, you kind of feel like maybe they would be working through that a little bit. And tonight, there's just been a lot of laundry on the field.
6:32 to go, still here in the third quarter.
Anyway, finishing the thought about it, in the 90s, Steve, DC Everest was the state power. And, that field and playing on the turf was such a mystique. Now it seems like so many programs have caught up, and there's so many fields that are available now.
Yep, absolutely. Butson throws it, and he's going to get hit. It's going to fall incomplete. And Rapids looking for it as well here. 6:10 to go. A couple of score updates from the network here tonight. Edgar leads Colby with 9 minutes to go in the game. 21-0 Spash, 21-16 over DC Everest. We'll have Spash. I think it's Spash and Wausau West next week or the week after. That will likely be a conference championship game, depending on how the rest of the year goes, obviously. Wittenberg-Burnhamwood is at Amherst. Wittenberg-Burnhamwood is 1 point better than Amherst right now, 15-14 with 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Pittsville and Auburndale, one that we were keeping our eye on, tied at 6. They're setting up the screen pass and off the hands of Gavin Vollner. And it's going to be third down coming up, fourth down coming up, third down for the Polar Bears. Tied at 6, Pittsville and Auburndale. There are 11 minutes to go in that ball game. Chi High and ECN, Eau Claire North. Chi High up 17-7. Marshfield and Wausau West. That game's probably almost over with. 35-0 with 1 minute to go in that ball game from Marshfield. So those are our games on the network tonight. We had a couple of other updates. What did you say?
At last check, it was 35-0 running clock situation. Iola was beating Assumption.
Butson trying to get out of it. Going to be Chase. He throws it. It's going to be incomplete. A good job there defensively by Grayson Reimer to chase down Broden Butson. And it's going to be a punting situation here for the Polar Bears.
So, Steve, maybe I'm wrong on this. Is this the first punt we'll see out of Hortonville tonight?
Second, yeah. After their
that's
first
right.
possession.
We had the late or the unnecessary roughness hit on the punt.
No, that was the other way. There was holding, I think, here. Their second possession, they scored a touchdown, and then they punted their second time. And a spiral of a punt. And it's going to be taken. No fair catch called. And Jackson Laskowski is going to be taken down at the 20-yard line. Score from, oh, goodness, let's see what Greg's got here. Score from Fond du Lac. Fond du Lac leads Kaukauna 20-17. They're at the end of the third quarter. Kaukauna had a big win last week. Score from Muskego from our good buddy Travis Wilson. Muskego leads Mugwanago 31-14. So that is what we have.
With 45 seconds to go in the third quarter, update 48-6, Iola over Assumption. So that will put Iola in pretty square control of the conference, as I believe they already have the victory in hand over Pacelli. So Iola looks like they are in pretty good shape to go ahead and claim that conference championship.
Yeah, I think Iola and Pacelli might be in October.
Okay.
But as of right now, depending on who else is in the conference? Loyal,
Rosholt, Assumption.
So Pacelli and Iola will be the only two teams in the Central Wisconsin Small Conference with a win in conference play. Yeah. Back to pass. Rasmussen on the wheel route, and it's going to be incomplete.
Uh-oh. You got a little bit of like number 11.
Brock Foley.
He came up a little bit limp there.
So the weeks 3 and 4 for the Marywood and the Central Wisconsin Small Conference, they count as conference games as they crossed over. And last week, after the crossovers were done, every team in the Central Wisconsin Small Conference was 0-2. And so Iola's going to have a win. Pacelli's got to win. And I think Loyal, because Loyal had Wild Rose this week. And Wild Rose, obviously.
And, of course, I was just going to say that, of course, the last team in the conference is Wild Rose, but they've gone to 8-man due to low numbers.
Goodness. Had his head taken off by Miles Silas on the tackle. And it's just like that. Fourth down coming up for Wisconsin Rapids offense here with 4:40 to go in the third quarter.
You know, again, Steve, I give the Rapids Lincoln defense a tremendous amount of credit. They have played spirited football, and they have kept their team in it. Unfortunately, offensively, whether it be the turnovers or whether it just be the inability to sustain drives, because they've had some very nice individual plays. They just can't seem to string it together. But, you know, down 20-0, 0-4, it'd be very easy to hang your head, and you see a tremendous amount of fight from the Rapids team, and I wanted to compliment them on that.
Fair catch called for by Gavin Vollner. As hear from our friends over at Culligan Water. Get Culligan Water for only $9.95 a month for the first 3 months. Visit Sterling Culligan Water at CulliganH2O.com. That's Culligan H, the number 2O.com. We talked about all the games that we got on the network tonight. We've got 17 tomorrow. We've got Port Edwards goes up to Newman Catholic for 8-player football. Stratford hosts their homecoming game tomorrow against Shiocton. That's a noon kickoff from Stratford. And then we have the Diocese volleyball tournament at Chippewa Falls McDonald tomorrow. And that is where 15 of the games will take place, all volleyball tomorrow with some top-tier teams in the state of Wisconsin tomorrow in Chippewa Falls.
It's exciting stuff for Zaleski Sports to be able to bring you Newman Catholic football this year. Obviously, 8-player championship. That's new for us here at Zaleski Sports to be able to bring you video of that. I know that's something that the Wausau area fans have really been clamoring for, so it's awesome to be able to watch the team versus just being able to listen to them. That being stated, off to a little bit of a tough start, but a big win last week.
Yep.
Looks like Coach Micklig and the group is starting to get that figured out, even after the injury to the quarterback. I think tomorrow will be an interesting game against Port Edwards, a good test. And again, all of a sudden, Newman picks up the win. They get themselves back to 2-2, and they're right back in the thick of things, looking to defend that state title. So good luck tomorrow to Coach Micklig and the Newman Cardinals.
Pitches to Levi Strange off the right side, inside Wisconsin Rapids territory, and a first down for Hortonville. Couldn't do it. Couldn't bring the Newman Catholic games to you without the help of our friends at Newman Catholic helping us out to get those games. 4 home games. They've already played 2. We've got 2 left. The 8-player state championship game for the last 2 years has been here, and the last 2 state champions has been Newman Catholic for 8-player football.
The other football game tomorrow is, if you've not got a chance to watch Stratford, that's a very, very, very talented group, obviously defending Division 6 state champion. Division 6 or Division 5?
6, yep.
6. So defending state champion. As we get a big
Levi
run.
Strange breaking a couple tackles. He's going to be taken down by Ashton Fisher. And a big run there, the biggest run, I think, for Levi here tonight, and a first down for the junior running back.
Once again, Strange is just really shifty. He almost impossible tonight to bring down on that first tackle. It seems like he always breaks that first tackle on a big gainer. But just to finish the thought on Stratford, we had them last week as an officiating crew. They took on Manawa, and they were impressive. They can throw the ball a little bit. Coach Tubbs has got them set up defensively. They play good fly to the football. Football. They're defensively very sound. So if you get a chance to check out, those are 2 great games on the network. And then tomorrow at the Diocese tournament, you're going to get a chance to see Newman Catholic, who excellent, Columbus Catholic, excellent, McDonald Central, who is back-to-back Division 4, now moved up to Division 3, state champion. So really some good volleyball on the network tomorrow as well.
Gavin Vollner on the carry as big 78 Noah Drager frustrated with himself as he missed a block. Yeah, we've got McDonald, Pacelli, Columbus, Regis, and Emmanuel Lutheran. I think I'm missing one.
Is Aquinas down there?
No. Maybe it is only 5.
Only 5?
I thought it was 6.
So no Aquinas and no Assumption at the Diocese tournament.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that in lacrosse?
It's at Chippewa Falls, at
Chippewa
McDonald.
Falls. Okay, at McDonald. Gotcha.
Butson in the shotgun, low snap again. Back to pass, still looking. Wide open at the 8-yard line, turns and scores. Touchdown, Levi Hebe on the touchdown reception of 22 or 23 yards. And Hortonville getting the job done again through the air with 1:04 to go here in the third.
Obviously a blown coverage by Rapids Lincoln, but again, credit to a great play design. And once again, the quarterback for Hortonville, Butson, has done just a terrific job of surveying the field, finding the open wide receivers. I believe that is his 3rd touchdown pass tonight, if I'm not mistaken. Very, very, very impressive air attack, and extra point pending with 1:04 here to go in the third quarter. Hortonville trying to go up 27-0.
And the PAT is up, and this one is perfect. 1:04 to go here in the third. We'll be back after this quick break. Zaleski Sports.
Good day. My name is Ken Hyman, and welcome to Nasonville Dairy here in central Wisconsin, Marshfield, Wisconsin, as a matter of fact. We make a lot of different cheeses. We make cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmer's Cheese, Peach Cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Fear, Seco, Parm, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Cafetieri, Cafla Graviera, 20 different flavors of Monterey, as well as making Edam, Gouda, and Munster. And the cheese be with you.
Colin Wendt on the kickoff. Ashton Fisher backing up to the 5-yard line. And he's going to be tripped up. No, breaks a tackle. He's got room. Ashton Fisher one to beat. That's Colin Wendt, the kicker, to the 35, to the 30. He's going to be taken down by Wendt at the 25-yard line.
There is the big play that we've been clamoring for all night long. Ashton Fisher with a great return, split the middle, and now sets up Rapids Lincoln at their own 25 here late in the third quarter. Steve, I don't know if you know this or not, but if you're going to come down from a 27-0 deficit, you have to fall down by 27 first. So that's the big kickoff return that Rapids needs. Now let's see if they can punch it in the end zone and see if they can chip away at this.
Yeah, need some points here. Obviously down by 27 and a big return. And depending on how this drive ends, it might be a huge tackle by Colin Wendt, the kicker, as well.
They're going to save – Rapids Lincoln has been saving all of their points for the fourth quarter of this game all year long. I can feel it, Steve. We got an epic comeback brewing. Don't touch that dial. Tune in to Rapids Lincoln Hortonville ending here.
Back to pass is Trevor Martin and Laskowski in front of Jackson. It's incomplete.
Interesting dynamic just in the world of what it's worth. You've got a right-handed and a left-handed quarterback. So even though you're alternating plays, you're kind of alternating right hand to left hand.
Yep.
Again, you don't see a tremendous amount of left-handed quarterbacks in the NFL. I have no idea if there's a difference in the way the ball spins or the way that you run, if it's preferential or not. I'd just be curious to see if that's a factor or not.
Under center's Rasmussen. Hands it up and going to go nowhere on the carry. Gains a couple, third down coming up. Score from Amherst with 8.5 to go in that one. It is Amherst Wittenberg Burnhamwood 21, Amherst 14. Again, appreciate everyone tuning in to our game here on Zaleski Sports. Can't thank you all enough for making us part of your Friday night every week of the high school football season. Edgar, 35 seconds to go, beats Colby 27-0.
Wow, blanked them. That's pretty impressive. Again, Edgar is rolling. They look like a machine this year.
Trevor Martin pitches it out to the outside. Touchdown, Cohen Lehman.
Lehman with the score to the outside. Way to go, Rapids.
And Wisconsin Rapids gets on the board as time expires here in the third quarter. And it's 27-6.
Obviously, 2-point conversion pending. We get this in the ball game. Steve, we got to score. As I said before, don't touch that dial. If you're going to come back from down by 27, you got to be down 27 first. Exciting for Rapids to go ahead and get on the board. Let's see. It looks like we're going to get an extra point attempt versus the 2-point attempt. See if we can get this game to 27-7.
Ashton Fisher in to attempt the PAT. Ashton, a good leg. Good snap, good hold. It is up. And it is a wobbly kick, but it is good. And no time left here in the third. We go to the fourth. It is Hortonville 27, Wisconsin Rapids 7. You're watching high school football right here, Zaleski Sports.
Customize your next apparel order with Maida Custom Apparel of Stevens Point. Visit us today for custom baseball and softball apparel. Need help with a design? We have you covered. Our highly skilled staff will turn your idea into a reality with great quality screen printing. Or choose from a variety of embroidery options today. Visit us at our physical store or online at maidacustom.com.
Wisconsin River Orthopedics has been providing comprehensive care to Wood County for over 50 years. We offer urgent care for orthopedic pain and injuries, joint replacement, along with focused sports medicine care from evaluation to rehabilitation. Our facilities offer a spacious rehab center to get you back to doing what you love most, along with the latest technology in our ambulatory surgery center and a comfortable open MRI. Stop living with pain and limited range in your joints. Turn to Wisconsin River Orthopedics and get back to the way life is meant to be. Wisconsin Rapids gets on the board to end the third quarter, and that one's going to roll out of the back of the end zone. As the weather starts to cool down, look to Rapids Sheet Metal Heating and Cooling here in Wisconsin Rapids. They've got more than 100 years of making your home and business comfortable. Call Rapids Sheet Metal Heating and Cooling today. You've been preaching it the whole game tonight, Paul, and especially at the end of that first half, and now we saw it to start the second half. If they can get the ball around the edge, it's been working for them tonight for Wisconsin Rapids.
Yeah, Hortonville's done a really great job between the tackles, but they've been vulnerable outside of the tackles. You've seen a couple nice passing plays completed for Rapids tonight, which is something that you've not seen for a little bit of the season. But that little pitch in the outside run attack has really taken a look at it. Everest has been able to go ahead and use their speed. But a big kick return followed by a nice pitch, and before you know it, we're talking 27-7 here, 12 minutes to go as we start the fourth quarter. But again, Rapids now, defense needs to come out, be spirited, make a turnover, get a stop, get the football back in your offensive hands. Let's see if they can go ahead and use that momentum.
Levi Strange is going to be piled up there in the backfield. He's going to gain maybe a yard on the carry. Wisconsin Rapids has done a really, really nice job, besides a couple of breakout runs for Levi Strange, really containing him, one of the better runners in the conference.
Yeah, I believe that was number 28, Cooper Burdick, that was in on the tackle there. And again, what was exciting to see, credit to Wisconsin Rapids and the coaching staff, this does not look like a team that's down 27-7. They're playing hard. They're spirited. The crowd's still into it. So, again, they're a stop and a score away from being right in this game.
And Carter Christie tried to time the snap and runs right through the offensive line. It's going to be a free 5 yards for Hortonville.
Unfortunately, it is a 5-yard penalty, but again, you're at a spot where you need to make a play. I appreciate Christie's enthusiasm. Unfortunately, the free yard's not what you want to give up there.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Get a free quote from Kerry Van Hurst. State Farm on auto, homeowners, life insurance, renters, and more for both Wisconsin Rapids and Marshfield. Find Kerry Van Hurst State Farm on Facebook. Get started today. 2nd and 4 for the Polar Bears. Strange will take it, just trying to hang on to the ball. He's going to get close. It's going to be 3rd down coming up for Hortonville. For any size job, when you need equipment, look to Wood Street Rentals, offering a great variety of rental equipment to help you get the job done with delivery service to any job site. That's Wood Street Rentals. We've been able to use Wood Street Rentals a couple of times this year, or this past summer on Zaleski Sports. If you tuned in to the Legion Regionals in Plover, our home plate, our pitcher-catcher camera behind center field, that was a lift from Wood Street Rentals. Great company and helps us out quite a bit, that's for sure. 3rd down coming up, back to pass, looking for a receiver, and that was going to be incomplete. A lot of hand fighting between Tate Denkins and the defender Lucas Schold, and it's going to be 4th down coming up here for Hortonville, and it looks like Colin Wentz going to come in to punt. No, he's going to maybe go over and talk to Coach Reichert. He does. See what the plan here for the Polar Bears is, leading 27-7 with 10-12 to go in the ball game.
Well, that's exactly the defensive stand that Rapids Lincoln is needed. Looks like the punt's going to come. Hopefully, again, short field. Maybe the offense has found something. Get a touchdown, and before you know it, 27-14, Steve. This thing got a little bit more interesting coming up here. So, again, not counting chickens, but, again, Rapids has got some momentum on their side. You can feel it shift.
Good snap, no pressure. Went gets it away. Going to be taken at the 36-yard line. Laskowski gets the edge, and he's going to be taken out of bounds near the 45-yard line. And that's where Wisconsin Rapids will start their next drive, trailing by 20 with 10 minutes to go. Spectrum Benefit Solutions, they've got offices located throughout central Wisconsin. Spectrum Benefit Solutions is your group benefits provider for health, dental, accident, and life insurance. Spectrum Benefit Solutions works with businesses of any size to help you attract and retain the best employees. Find Spectrum Benefit Solutions on Facebook to get started today.
You know, Steve, it's interesting. Most Friday nights I'm wearing the stripes. No game this week. long story short, we were supposed to have Stratford Shakopee, got moved to Saturday. My daughter runs cross country, hence no game kind of this week, so I had an opportunity to come up and join you on Zaleski Sports here. But it's exciting to see a game where both teams score. I was telling you a little bit earlier, I said in our 4 weeks of football this year.
Back to pass across, and a great defensive play there. Sorry to cut you off there, Paul. Peyton Ross with the defensive play for Hortonville.
Peyton Ross does a great job getting his hand in to go ahead and break that up because, again, that's the quick hitter that Rapids was needing. I'm liking to see them starting to spread and use that field a little bit more. Anyway, I was just saying that again, it seems like you've had a lot of very powerful teams. So we've had Wittenberg this year, we've had Stratford this year, we've had Auburndale this year, all ranked in the state, and they played some competition that maybe was a little bit further behind in their development than what those teams were.
And going to be stood up. Jonah Rasmussen is going to be taken down, and it's going to be third down coming up here for Wisconsin Rapids.
Looked like he had an opportunity for the pitch there, but probably a wise move not to throw it, as by the time he decided that his pitch man was open, he had too many defenders in his face.
Score update from Amherst. It is Amherst 22, Wittenberg-Burnhamwood 21. The score on the scoreboard is incorrect if you're watching the Amherst game. Third down coming up, hands it up the middle. Lehman carrying defenders, first down for Cohen.
That's inspired football right there by Cohen. That's pure will. After he got through that initial, his first contact was about 5 yards short, but he just lowered the shoulder, picked up an important first down, keeps this drive going. 9:09 here to go, fourth quarter, Steve. 27-7 Rapids trailing, but driving, seeing if they can get themselves back in this game and possibly save their season. 21-16 over on the network. Spash is beating DC Everest. Fourth quarter, 1:08 left on the clock. It looks like it's 2nd and 20, and from the looks of it, it appears to be Spash football, but I don't know that for sure.
1st and 10 here for Wisconsin Rapids, 8:40 to go. Long count, hands it up. No, he's going to keep it himself. Off the right side, Rasmussen's going to be carried by his offensive lineman all the way up to the 35-yard line. Nice gain for the Red Raiders.
And all of a sudden, the Rapids offense has come to life. You know, win or lose, if you're Wisconsin Rapids, you got to be pleased with your offensive effort tonight. You've had some nice passing plays. You've shown the ability to run the football. That feels like a step forward to me, Steve.
Yeah, absolutely right. And with a big game, obviously, next week against Everest, but the last 3 games of the regular season, very winnable against Marshfield and Appleton West and Wausau East. See if Wisconsin Rapids might be able to sneak in the back door, and not going to happen that way. It's going to be third down coming up.
So it looks like Spash has the football. 3rd and 10.
Now in the score update from Auburndale, it's over. The Auburndale Eagles 12, the Pittsfield Panthers 6.
And Spash just scores the touchdown, so Spash is going to take down DC Everest, perhaps 28-16. About a minute to go in that game, but Spash now up 2 scores, as it looks like they're going to hand the Evergreens their first conference loss. Is that correct?
Yep.
I think that's correct.
First loss of the whole year for the Evergreens. Back to pass. Has a receiver, Laskowski. Touchdown! Jackson Laskowski. A perfect pass, a great catch by Laskowski, and a touchdown for the Red Raiders with 7:07 to go here in the ballgame.
You know, Steve, I said it before, I'll say it again. You have to be down 27-0 to make a 27-point comeback. Extra point pending can cut this thing to under 2 scores, 7:07 to go. Stay tuned, folks. I think we're going to have an exciting finish here at South Wood County Stadium.
Wow, what a pass that was, and what a great job by Jackson Laskowski to chase it down and make the great catch. Wow.
Over the shoulder, great concentration. Go ahead and knock this extra point through. Let's get a football game going on here, boys.
Ashton Fisher, PAT attempt, and there's, offsides, I believe, on Hortonville.
No, false start.
So back him up a little bit. With 7:07 to go, 27-13.
I know you can't see it because he's running our camera, but I think the expression on Josh's face says it all. You could just see you can see it. The Rapids fans want to get behind the team. They can feel the momentum. They got to be able to keep this thing going. It's a passionate fan base. I give this crowd and this team a lot of credit, a tremendous amount of heart and fight in this Rapids team.
High snap, it is up, and Fisher puts it through, and it is good. 7:07 to go in the ball game. Here we go, 27-14. Back to Wisconsin Rapids after this. Selesky Sports.
Chili Implement, located just west of Marshfield in Chili, is your Kubota dealer in central Wisconsin. Big or small, Chili Implement has all the best equipment waiting for you. From farm tractors to lawn care, plus work and have fun in a Kubota side-by-side. Choose Chili Implement for your parts and service too. Chili Implement, open Monday through Saturday to serve you and 24/7 online at chiliimplement.com.
Welcome back to Wisconsin Rapids. Ashton Fisher back to boot it away again. And it is a pooch kick. It's going to fall, and it sits on the ground. See who recovers. Hortonville looks like they got it. Wow.
You know, Steve and I were just talking about that. So 2 interesting plays. One, going back to the end of the first half, the missed opportunity to spike the ball and kill the clock could have potentially been a big points. But it's interesting now. Do you try that onside kick? They went to the pooch kick. It's kind of the best of both worlds, right? Because you still have them at their own 32-yard line, so it's not deep, but it's not terrible field position.
Yep.
And in the meantime, you gave yourself a chance to almost catch that football, or to almost get that football back at this point. So if you're the Rapids defense, you got to be thinking 3 and out. If you're Hortonville at this point, you don't want to get conservative, but now feels like a great time to go ahead and pound the football to Strange.
Yeah, it was a really perfect kick there by Ashton Fisher. Put it right into no man's land.
Yep, so you're going to get a false start there. You have 2 men in motion. So if you just have the 1 man in motion, you get an illegal shift. But 2 men in motion, they got to come set. That's going to be a 5-yard penalty. You're going to go up 1st and 15.
All the momentum on the side of Wisconsin Rapids right now. Again, going back to that pooch kick by Ashton Fisher right into no man's land, over the top and behind the first line and a half of the return team, and far enough in front of the next line that he gave his guys a good chance of recovering that football.
Absolutely. You know, you can really hear the Rapids Lincoln crowd. I hope that you're capturing that a little bit on the audio, is that this crowd has been really excited to go ahead and try to get Rapids back into this particular ball game. The fight and the momentum feels to be right now on Rapids' side.
Butson in shotgun formation. Strange to his left. Back to pass. No, he's going to hand it off to Strange off the right side. And the defense for Wisconsin Rapids ready for it. Gains a yard and a half. It's going to be 2nd down coming up. An SCS apartment or home is where you want to live, work, and play all throughout central Wisconsin, the Chippewa Valley, and the Fox Valley. No matter where you live, look to SC Swiderski to make you feel right at home.
Steve, I understand the importance of keeping the clock running, but Butson has been so accurate with the football, and they've had so many explosive plays. It makes you wonder if you're going to see Hortonville try to go back to the air and see if they can get a strike or see if they can flip this field by getting that air attack going. I think you got to stay true to your momentum true to your identity at this time of the game.
And I think Hortonville might need to take a timeout here. Yep, and there's a delay. Oh, and Hortonville just able to get the timeout in time. We'll keep it here. Hear from our friends at Stop Construction. They're a premier builder of municipal and industrial water and wastewater treatment systems here in the Midwest. Stop Construction has been partnering with private and public customers since 1984. Stop Construction has its own service and fabrication department to assist with any municipal or industrial situation. Stop Construction, 100% employee owned. company. We mentioned all of our games tomorrow on the network. The Badgers back in action tomorrow. Yeah.
Georgia played Georgia Southern at home. It's the last non-conference game and an important tune-up. You know,
Yep.
I know that myself as a Badger fan, I was disappointed to see them lose to Washington State. But once again, when you go from ground and pound to that air attack and that spread and the pace that Fickle wants to play at, I think you were expecting a learning curve. I'd much rather it happen now before they get into Big Ten West play. So again, I think kind of an important tune-up game tomorrow. What are your thoughts on Green Bay Atlanta on Sunday?
It should be interesting. I don't know a lot about Atlanta, but defense and offense are pretty good for the Falcons. Back to pass, Butson being chased sidelines. It's going to be over his head and incomplete. Third down coming up for the for Hortonville here.
So again, I personally, Steve, and again, talking official fan, basketball coach, I like the play call. It's one of those deals. I think you got to stay true to your identity. I'm sure there's somebody at home that's probably throwing their phone against the wall. Hopefully you've got an OtterBox that you're not taking a look at it. If not, you can see Zach's technology here in town. He'll help you out. But they're thinking, why are we not running the football to keep the clock moving? But again, I think all the momentum right now is truly in the hands of Wisconsin Rapids. You know, at 3rd and 13, 6:08, plenty of time in this ball game if Rapids can get a stop and then get a kick return.
They're going to have another delay of game here on the Polar Bears. Unless Coach Reichert can call a timeout, and it's going to be a delay of game on the Polar Bears here. So it's going to be 3rd and 18 now with 6:08 to go in the ball game. Marching back 5 more yards here, and it'll be 3rd down and long coming up. Solaris customers have enjoyed the same low price for 5 years running. No tricks, no gimmicks, no kidding. Packages start at $49.99 a month. Visit Solaris.net today and learn more. Again, we thank all of our sponsors. There's no doubt about it. Solaris, one of the ones that I can vouch for. Of course, they help with the internet here at the football field, inside the Lincoln Fieldhouse, over at the Quadplex across the way, at Assumption, at my house.
At my house.
And again, we can't thank our sponsors enough, that's for sure. 3rd and 18 coming up for Broden Butson. And a screen play. It's going to be caught, and Gavin Vollner, green grass in front of him, and he is going to outpace. He's going to be taken down, break a tackle, break another tackle, and he's all the way to the 10-yard line. Gavin Vollner on the yard after catch, and a flag comes in all the way back at the 42-yard line. And we'll see what the call is. Might come back. And it looks like it is. Everybody marching back here.
Steve, I'll just say 2 things. First of all, wow. That play had a lot of interesting action. And second of all, I hope that everybody's just enjoying as we listen to Scott Bellinger.
Eagle use of hands, block in the back on the offense. 10 yards out of the foul, it will remain 3rd down.
So it's going to be 3rd down and about 14 coming up for Hortonville after that excitement. Now they got to go back and do it again.
So that play starts off where I thought, ooh, that's a dangerous pass that might get picked. Then Vollner with an outstanding individual effort. And again, my compliment, Steve. I was just having a great time listening to you sit back and call it myself personally. Like I said, we get it. We sometimes take it for granted at Assumption that we get you as the voice of Assumption a lot for our sports, especially basketball from that regards. But I hope that everyone is enjoying this in terms of where it goes. The stadium was rocking. Vollner with a terrific effort. The penalty. Here we go, doing it again. So let's reset it. So you're talking 3rd and 9, 5:40 with the clock running. 27-14, but Rapids has scored the last 14 points, and really since that last drive of the first half, Steve, has had all the momentum in this game.
Press box rocking here, back to pass. Butson rolling out to his left, still looking, has a receiver, and it's going to be caught along the sidelines, and it is going to be a 1st down. Great concentration by Colin Jung.
No, I don't.
Close.
I don't think so. So again, you're talking far official says move the chains, and the near official, near official is now saying move the chains as well in terms of where it goes. So 1st down, Hortonville. Woo, that feels like a massive throw and catch. And again, for Hortonville, they went back on 3rd and long twice, trusted their quarterback to go ahead and put it in the air. I don't think you can compliment the Hortonville quarterback enough. Broden Butson has just been spectacular tonight. Rapids has had no answer for him, and in big spots, he has made big-time plays.
And they don't have enough guys on the field, and again, struggling to get enough. And I don't think they'll have it again. And Coach Reichert will need to take another timeout. Frustration on the side of the Polar Bears. And we'll hear from Maida Custom Apparel. They're in Stevens Point. They provide quality decorated apparel from hometown schools and summer teams to corporate and team outings, along with promotional items and sporting goods. That's Maida Custom Apparel, Business Park, Stevens Point. Some more score updates. We don't have many games left going. Chippewa Falls and Eau Claire North, they're at Carson Park. Chi High up 30-16. Pittsville already fell to Auburndale. Amherst and Wittenberg-Burnhamwood, that game is still going on. It is 27-22. Amherst will have it inside the 5-yard line, or inside the 10-yard line with 15 seconds left. It looks like first and goal, second and goal from the 9 for Amherst with 15 seconds left in that ball game.
Steve, you had made mention, if you're a football fan in the state of Wisconsin and you're ever near Eau Claire and there's a game going on at Carson Park, that's a spot you should go check out a football game at. That's one of the most historic, beautiful venues around. It just so many of those cool niche ballparks in the state of Wisconsin.
First and 10, going to hand it off to Strange. Another low snap. Strange is going to get twisted around, bent back. It's going to be second down coming up. We'll take a look at that Amherst game, and it's going to be incomplete. Third and goal with 9 seconds to go from Amherst. Second and 6 here with under 5 minutes to go. 27-14. Hortonville on top. Again, Nasonville Area Postgame Show will wrap up our broadcast. We'll have an opportunity to talk to a winning coach and a player of the game as well at the conclusion of this football game. Hortonville led 27-0. Rapids 14 unanswered. Going to hand it off to Strange again, up the middle, and a huge hit.
As an officiating crew, we've had a chance to see Wittenberg live and in person this year. Fraza is an impressive size athlete, getting interest from South Dakota, North Dakota. For sure are two colleges that are interested in him, and from that regards, and we're looking forward to it. We've got Amherst and Spencer Columbus next week. I believe that game will also be on the Zaleski Sports Network, and again, looking forward to getting a chance to see Amherst firsthand. Year in, year out, one of the better programs in the state. Always a very competitive squad there.
Third and 4 minutes to go. And going to hand it up to Gavin Valdner off the left side. It's going to be close. Stood up, and it's going to be fourth down coming up for Hortonville here. Again, I don't want to say that some towns take for granted what they have with athletics.
They do. So you're aware.
I went to Amherst for school, and until Coach Mark Kalusik showed up, Amherst was not good at football for about 60 years. So Lusick shows up and turns everything around. Of course, he's won 4 state championships and has a player in the NFL, Tyler Biotish. Garrett Groshek was in the U.S. or the one of those other leagues. So, it's Coach Lusick has turned that football program and that school around.
You know, it's one of those deals. Amherst has built themselves with such a reputation, Steve, that unless they win a state title, it feels like a disappointing season. That's how you know you've hit the mark of a good program.
High snap, no pressure. And Colin Wendt had an opportunity to run for a first down. And a fair catch called. The whistle was blown before he even caught the ball.
Yeah.
And it's going to be first and 10 at the 11-yard line. Here, how about this one? We will bring you this game, of course, as you're watching. Amherst has it, 4th and goal from the 1-yard line with 4 seconds left, trailing 27-22. Jack Rosicki on the call in Amherst.
So, Mr. Falcon, if you're 4th and goal from the 1 yard line, trailing by 5. Are you running or passing?
Knowing Amherst, they don't go under center, so might have to. I don't know. I don't get too nervous covering Amherst games because I don't do it anymore. But this seems like a big ball or big play, obviously, in Amherst.
That game will go a long way. Obviously, Stratford will have a lot to say about it, but that game will go a long way when it comes to conference championship implications. 1st and 10 here, and it doesn't look like they made it. Wittenberg holds and beats Amherst. And Trevor Martin's going to be stopped after a gain of a couple. And Wittenberg with the goal line stand against the Amherst Falcons and knocks them off in Amherst 27-22. That's back-to-back. Or I don't know who Amherst played last week. But 2 home losses for Amherst this year, Stratford and now Wittenberg-Burnwood, the other top two teams of the state. Or in the conference. Back under center, we got 1:55 to go here. And that's Jonah Rasmussen. He's going to be stood up and taken down near the 20-yard line. Steve, let's switch gears for just a second. Brewers up 5-3 over the Nationals tonight. I believe that somebody told me their magic number was 14.
Yep.
Cubs are getting beat by the Snakes tonight, so Diamondbacks up over the Cubs 3-0.
That helps.
So you can go from 14 to 12. Again, they told me there's no math tonight, Josh, but I think I can figure that one out in terms of where it goes. But again, exciting to see the Brewers in a great spot where they're potentially staring down a division championship and a postseason berth. So tonight's a good night to be a Brewer fan. Not such a good night to be a Cubs fan, Danny. Again, for our friends, Dan Ross, he sent us a message earlier as my Marshfield West prediction didn't go so well. But, hey, the Brewers are winning, so it's all balancing out, Steve.
1:11 to go here in Wisconsin Rapids, trailing by 13. No urgency with one. I mean, they got the ball back, and there is no urgency right now for the Red Raiders with under a minute to go.
I'm not sure that I understand it. I'm also not sure that I understand.
Jonah Rasmussen is going to be taken down again.
Steve,
Coach Piolo finally uses a timeout here with 45 seconds left. All right. Wisconsin River Orthopedics encourages you to stop living with the pain. Come see them and let's get you back to living your life to the fullest. For joint pain, rehabilitation, urgent care, and more, come to Wisconsin River Orthopedics in Wisconsin Rapids.
Yeah, so, Steve, I don't know that I understand it. I know that we came into this game and said that Amherst or that Rapids had not – I've got Amherst on the brain now. that Rapids had not completed a pass in the previous 3 weeks, but they have had success tonight on the outside of the tackles. They've had success completing passes. You have all the momentum. You have a stop. Your season essentially is on the line. It's 27-14. To your point, what are we doing?
Yep.
Why are we not throwing the ball? What are we waiting for here? I feel like that's a precarious finish because I feel like Rapids really has taken some big steps offensively forward. Defensively, I've complimented them several times tonight where I feel like they've been very impressive, minus a few long passing plays that they've given up. They've been in this game and done enough to keep themselves competitive, but to not throw the ball here and give yourself a chance, I don't know that I understand that.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's been a question mark all year long. And back to pass will be Trevor Martin. Hit as he throws. It's going to be over the head and incomplete. That was a good pass, just out of the hands of the intended receiver. Now with 40 seconds to go, 3rd and 4 coming up for the Red Raiders. Next week, Wisconsin Rapids will host the Evergreens of DC Everest, who will come off a loss to Stevens Point today. And Hortonville will host Wausau East. We didn't get into it today, but how awesome is it that Wausau East is back playing football? I mean, they struggled the last couple of years, a new coach this year, and good to see them back playing 11-man football.
Yeah, it'll go away again because, of course, the Wausau School District is combining across the board. Last week you had the last ever log game in terms of where it goes. But, sometimes high school football is about more than wins and losses. It's about the experience and the memories and the pageantry. Tonight we had a great band. We had the dance team at the half that was out there with a nice little number. They introduced youth football. That's what it's all about tonight, in terms of where it goes. So congratulations, East, for making it back. As you get a run up the middle, And, again, I just, for as well as Rapids Lincoln has battled tonight, I'm not sure that I understand.
Caden Sager will get the first down, but 4 seconds to go. And Jackson Laskowski asking for a timeout, and Wisconsin Rapids will take a timeout. Coming up next is the Nacerville Dairy postgame show. Nacerville Dairy with fresh cheese curds made daily. Get your cheese curds in Nacerville Dairy in Marshfield, Curtis, or nacervilledairy.com. I'll be able to get on the field, talk to head coach Nick Reichert from Hortonville and our Zaleski Sports Player of the Game. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of offense tonight for Hortonville, but all with the help of junior quarterback Broden Butson for the Polar Bears tonight. Made a couple of magnificent passes in the first half. Obviously made a couple here in the second half as well. But the big thing for Hortonville tonight is that they got behind the sticks a couple times, didn't stray away from their game plan, kept it through the air, and got the job done with the air assault.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, a very entertaining football game. At one point, this was 27-0, and you kind of felt like, well, where it was. But Rapids had a great drive to end the first half, couldn't get the ball spiked, then had great field position, battled hard. My compliments to both teams in this. Like I said, Hortonville, it looks like a talented squad to me. Again, with their schedule coming, I would venture to guess Hortonville's going to make the playoffs. And for Rapids Lincoln, it feels like big progress tonight. This feels like a team that took a step forward. I think those last 3 weeks are going to go much better for them than what the previous 5 have.
Jonah Rasmussen throws it incomplete, and that'll end it here tonight. It is Hortonville 27 and Wisconsin Rapids 14. I'll go down on the field. Paul will wrap things up here, and I'll have an opportunity to talk to head coach Nick Reichert and our Zaleski Sports Player of the Game, Broden Butson, when we get down on the field. Nacerville Dairy postgame show coming up next, Zaleski Sports.
Good day. My name is Ken Hyman, and welcome to Nacerville Dairy here in central Wisconsin, Marshfield, Wisconsin, as a matter of fact. Nacerville Dairy actually goes back to 1885. We are the oldest plant in Wood County. When our father brought us here in the early 1960s, we ran 7,500 pounds of milk a day. We now run 1.8 million pounds of milk a day. We buy dairy milk from 200 dairy farmers here in central Wisconsin, produce it, and ship it all over the world. We make a lot of different cheeses. We make cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmer's Cheese, Peach Cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Freer, Seco, Parm, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Caflatiri, Cafla Graviera, 20 different flavors of Monterey, as well as making Edam, Gouda, and Munster. This has allowed us to go to a lot of different countries. Our furthest accounts are now in China, Japan, Canada, Saudi Arabia. We do ship to Mexico, as well as a number of other places throughout the world. This is what we call Cheese Making 101. We tried to walk you through the cheese plant today, and we're in hopes that you see our people, what they're doing, and the amount of work that goes into producing the products that we hope you enjoy. We make a lot of different cheeses. We make cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmer's Cheese, Pizza Cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Fear, Seco, Parm, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Caflateri, Cafla Graviera, 20 different flavors of Monterey, as well as making Edam, Gouda, and Munster. And the cheese be with you.
Welcome back to South Wood County Stadium tonight as Hortonville defeats Wisconsin Rapids tonight 27-14. We appreciate you turning into the Nasonville Dairy postgame show. Again, this game tonight, Hortonville Rapids won the opening coin toss, deferred to the second half. Hortonville took that opening kickoff and was impressive on their first drive down the field and punched it in the end zone right away to take an early 6-0 lead. Rapids was unable to get the offense going and fell down 12-0 and then 20-0. Right before the half, Rapids Lincoln was able to go ahead and connect on a pitch play where they got a big run and then they connected a pass that got them down to the 25. But with 8 seconds to go, they were unable to get a spike to stop the football. There was a penalty to end the end of the first half, and then so the short field started in the second half. Unfortunately, Rapids was unable to convert on that and fell down 27-0. But then Rapids Lincoln showed the heart of a champion as they came down and they got a back-to-back scores with 14 unanswered to make it 27-14. Unfortunately, the comeback came short tonight behind just an impressive offensive performance from Hortonville. So Rapids Lincoln falls to 0-5 on the season. 0-5 on the season in terms of where it goes. Hortonville improves to 2-3 and picks up a big conference win in their quest to go ahead and make the playoffs here on Zaleski Sports. We're waiting to be joined by Steve Maves, who is down on the field as he's waiting to go ahead and talk with our Zaleski Sports player of the game from Hortonville, and as well as Hortonville's coach. So Hortonville, as you can see on the screen, is just going ahead and wrapping up their post-game meeting here at Southwood County Stadium. And then Coach will be over to go ahead and join Steve as we get ready for some post-game interviews here on the Nasonville Dairy post-game show. So Steve is just about all set. And as soon as he ends up with Coach, and then Braden Butson, who will be our player of the game, to go ahead and say a few words to us, we'll get down the field. So here we go. We're going to throw it down to Steve Maves on the field.
Talk to Coach when
Sounds
he's
good.
done shaking hands. We're up there with the thumbs up up there.
Okay.
Good? All right. Good. All right. Welcome back to Wisconsin Rapids Nasonville Dairy post-game show. Hortonville picks up a big conference win here tonight, 27-14 on the road against Wisconsin Rapids. Here's our Zaleski Sports player of the game, Braden Butson. Obviously a big win on the road tonight. We talked a lot about it in the broadcast. You guys got behind the sticks a couple of times, but didn't stray away from the passing game. Just talk a little bit about continuously getting better through the air.
You know, early in the season we had to try to limit our turnovers, and that was a big problem. You know, we came back the last couple of weeks, limit those turnovers, and then we just tried taking care of the ball more. Having that run game, it really came through with the big boys up front. Huge praise to them. They're working their tail off. And then the receivers, they just got to catch it, and that's what they're doing right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I heard in the huddle afterwards here, the last drive you guys didn't score any points, but took a lot of time off the clock and limited them after they had a lot of momentum.
Yeah, I mean, it just comes down to those big boys up front. They're just working their tail off all off-season, showed here tonight.
2 wins, back-to-back conference wins. Obviously have Wausau East next week. What do you guys have to do in the last 4 games? Crazy to think, only 4 games left, to punch a ticket to the playoffs and go from there.
I think it just comes down to believe in the system we have, believe in our coaches, and then lastly, just believe in each other, limit those turnovers and then just keep pounding that rock.
All right, we're going to put you in the house, okay? So do you know what to do? Have you heard of Celeste? Kinda. All right, I'm going to give you this. I'm going to back out of the way. I'm going to count you down 3, 2, 1. Just say your name and say I'm in the house.
All right.
All right? Sounds good. All right, go ahead.
Braden Butson, and I'm in the house, baby.
Thanks, Braden. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. We'll bring in Coach Reichert here in just a second. Maybe not. We'll step aside here. We'll let Coach do his thing. They got to get home to the Fox Valley. Again, appreciate you all tuning in here tonight. 27-14 Hortonville over Wisconsin Rapids, as Hortonville will be against Wausau East next week. For Paul J. Glinski, Josh Bush, Olivia Zimmerman, this is Steve May signing off. Have a great rest of your night, everyone. We'll talk to you again next week right here